to Call Me Old Fashioned. It's time to grab your glass, fill it up to the brim, because now it is time for 4 hours for commercial-free bourbon drinking.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of all three, right? We're going to start off with a little warm-up pour. Then we're going to break into some cocktails. Now I'm going to make a larger video about this, you know, kind of more standard view, but we finally picked up Benchmark Full Proof. It's been like, it's not a hyped up bottle by any means, right? But apparently it's really good. I went to the store like 3 or 4 times to buy Full Proof, you know, and I always seem to come home with the single barrel or the bonded. Just Full Proof just kept slipping my mind, and it was right there most of the time. So anytime I went back to go look for it afterwards, it just was never there. So I finally picked it up. This is actually, it was on sale, like Full Proof on sale, $19.99. That's a steal in my book. So we're gonna go ahead and pour that up tonight. Then we're gonna make a cocktail or two and see if the Benchmark, I don't know if it would be better than the Stagg, but like, is it that big of a difference? Because a lot of people try to compare the two. Obviously, they're nowhere near the same thing. But like, can it hold up in a cocktail? Because it's got similar proof points, right? You're talking about Full Proof is 125 proof, and this Stagg in particular is 128.9 proof. So only 4% proof difference, but a giant price difference. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in here. Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Hopefully, oh, somebody was messaging me over here. Hopefully, you're having a good night. Let me know what you're sipping on, and let's get to sipping. I'm going to start with a little warm-up pour. We're going to do the Weller Special Reserve, right? There ain't nothing too special about that, but this bottle is basically a year old. You guys know anytime I break this out, it's usually something to do with the kid. This weekend, we are celebrating his first birthday. His birthday's not this weekend, but that's when the party is. So we're going to break into that. This bottle's kind of dusty, no? Kind of dusty. So we'll break into that, and then we'll do the Full Proof and then a little cocktail action. So buckle up. Happy Friday. Welcome to the stream. You know, one of my concerns with this bottle in particular was that it's just a screw top, right? And any of the screw tops I've had before in the past, especially if you're going to keep it for like a longer period of time, it's not like a cork. And if you don't reseal it properly, it could get oxidized and just turn into the crap. Now, I'm not saying this particular top is anything special, but I am saying that the juice is still perfectly fine. And it's been basically a year. I mean, close enough. So the kid just woke up again. The wife's going to have to get him. RMZ says, cheers, everyone. RMZ, welcome to the stream, baby. Happy Friday. Let's have a good stream. Also, anybody that is watching, who's in Jacksonville area that's going to the beer, bourbon, and barbecue festival? I'm trying to figure out if I should just do a last second, just slide over there. I wasn't 100% sold on it. I keep seeing a little bit of mixed reviews on the actual event. But, I mean, sounds like a good time. It just, who knows if it's going to be, you know. Apparently this year they stepped it up with like their vendors. It's not during the summer, so it's not going to be as hot. It's actually going to be a nice day tomorrow as far as weather goes. You know, knock on wood, obviously. So it may be a good time. It's just going to depend on, did they set it up properly this time, you know? So let me check 2 things real quick. But yeah, so overall, if anybody's going to that, let me know what the plan is on that one, because I might just swing by to make a quick little video, and obviously samples and barbecue. Heck, while we're at it, maybe a beer, right? I think that's what you go for, right? There we go. iRock says, let's go. You know what? It's funny. Once you get monetized, you drop too many F-bombs too early on in the stream, you get demonetized. It's a fun way to learn that. I really like the Weller though. Like the more I sip on it, the more I'm like, yeah, it's just a 90 proof. But as far as weeded go, it's got the right stuff to it. But this bottle will be done before the end of the month. We got to get a new one, right? For his birthday, I think we're going Antique 107, just to like our replacement bottle for the, you know, kind of the reasoning behind it. Irox says, neither goes in a cocktail. Let's be real. No one does that to good bourbon. Not Weller. I was talking about these two. And yeah, and you know, my point of it is how do they compare to each other in a cocktail? I guess that was a proper thing, like what goes in a cocktail, understandably. He's like, okay, I'll stop. My bad. So this, I told you, or you may not have been here when I got it. The benchmark full proof I got for $19.99. Anything that price, I'm throwing in whatever. You know what I mean? I'm getting real reckless with it because why not? You know. So we're gonna make a cocktail with those. I want to see the full proof cocktail versus Stagg cocktail, and just kind of figure out, you know, where do they stack up comparatively to each other, not just like, is this good or is this good? Because I'm sure they're both good in general. Tuxedo says, I made an old fashioned with my shanks. LOL. Hey, you make it. I mean, drink your whiskey how you want to drink your whiskey at the end of the day. Bourbon Gator says, Blanton's old fashioned. I mean, I still got mine. I've made a Blanton's old fashioned. Blanton straight from the barrel would probably be the answer there, but it just doesn't have like enough proof for me. And the reason why I like the Woodford's double oak old fashions, even though it's the same proof as that Blanton's, is that oak carries the drink. Without that, the 90 proofs are kind of a little too on the low end for me for an old fashioned. That's why these are like full proof. No, all right, no jokes hits. He says, "Go Gators." Did they win? I thought, yeah, they won, right? I know I was watching Shelton stream for a while, just beating off the bots in that thing, but North Florida said, how about them Gators? Go Gators, baby. Tuck says, sorry, LOL. It was good, though. I mean, it's your whiskey. Drink it how you want. Ark says, Bear, let's be real. They should have won by 50. They should have. Crazy. Last year we were live streaming non-stop during March Madness. I'm not built like that anymore, you know? I'm tired. Not that we won't. Maybe it's just like day 2. But you never know. Maybe we kick it up a notch. But we tired, you know? So, moving on to the main attractions, right? Benchmark full proof. What's crazy is like I do like the bonded over the single barrel, I believe. It's been a while since I drank them. I like the bonded over the single barrel, no, it's opposite. I like the single barrel over the bonded, even though it's 5% less proof points. But the one downside about benchmarks to me, they're cheap, right? They're cheaper. So I get that. Somebody disliked the stream. It's all good, bud. It's all good. Is it like the aftertaste? Taste budget. It's got like this medicinal cherry note instead of like, you know, like a sexy cherry. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where hopefully this one doesn't have it. Hopefully the proof just kind of beats you over the head enough where you don't even realize it. Northwest says, kids will do that to you, bro. You're not lying. His birthday's next week. It's crazy how fast it came and gone, you know? So that's why we broke out the Weller. Everybody's like, it's not special. I'm like, I get it. I had to drink something else first too, because you can't just dive into like 130 proof. You got to tiptoe into that. You throw out the whole night, you know? We got our whistle wet. That actually smells way better than the other ones. Not sponsored by Celsius, but if there was a sponsored for me, Celsius, I'm just saying. If you see it one day with a Celsius like backdrop, like don't even question it, just know. They're not good for you. I'm not saying they're good for you. I'm just saying they're delicious. Cherry bitters. Oh, I do have that. I can do that. Penelope Havana Old Fashioned with cherry bitters. Boys, you know what's funny? Every time I make a cocktail, I never have the right ice. I was like, you know what? I need the right ice tonight. I got home, I put the ice in the freezer, I got the cubes going. It's not gonna be ready. I'm waiting to even make the cocktail so that way we can maybe finish freezing it up, you know. But I don't think it's gonna happen. But I would like to try Penelope. Wait, I've tried it over ice last stream, and it wasn't that great. I'll try it in old fashioned. I think we have to. But I'm not saying I'm gonna like it because I didn't care for it over ice, and I was like, that's a big tell if it's gonna be, you know, good in a cocktail. No Floor says, I got 4 kids, and who knows if God blesses us with more, we'll take them. We'll take them. Hell no. 4? Nah, fam. Not me. 4? I'm gonna go get some milk. Pack of smokes. I'm kidding. We want. I don't know. She wants 2, for sure. I'm good with the 1 for now. Like, let me have a break. Let me have a day. You know, let me have a day. That's hot though. That one's got some heat to it. Not like normal too. Like normal, like when it's higher proof, normally kind of like hits you pretty good. This doesn't have like a ton of ethanol. It just has heat. That's a weird combo. Duck says, prepare to be blessed, Bear. I'm sending you mine. Arik says, I tried sending the Fresh Crack Friday video, but the Discord won't let me. I know, sometimes I can't send videos in there either because the video is too large of a size. That's funny. Duck says, yeah, it's usually too big for Discord, blah, blah, blah. No Floor says, I think you need a cigar with that Havana. Honestly, what's so funny that you said that, because I know Tux is blowing me up right now. I don't know if that's the me or the group, but no, that's to the group. So I got a notification from, I think it's like the Total Wine concierge thing, and it was like, pre-order the Penelope Cigar Blend, batch 1. Bought on the spot, no questions asked. It was like 100 and something proof cigar blend from Penelope. I understand it's MGP, guys, so nobody lose their fucking lid. But Penelope kind of won me over with the Havana and the barrel strength. You know, the little ones, because I was 50-50 for a while, right, with Penelope. The last couple ones, even the rosé one, I dig it. I'm down to drink that. It's not my favorites. It's not going to be my go-tos. But like to have on the shelf, to have that as an option, those are good. But the cigar blend one, I'm pumped for. Because I need a good cigar blend. And I think Penelope does a good enough job to where they're going to pump out like a fairly decent product for that cigar blend. So I'm stoked on that. And it's under $100. Under $100 cigar blend. Cheers to that. Chris in the chat says, I've had the Crown Royal Vanilla. It wasn't that bad. I like Crown Vanilla sometimes, like within context. Like if that's like what all I have to drink. Crown Vanilla, a little Coke, got a little vanilla Coke going. It's good. Enough. I will say for $20, that's insane that this is only $20. Like what would be good is to do this in a blind and not tell them what it is and be like, what do you think? Now I think like the big pros are it's sweet. Like this pour is sweet. And I kind of expect that from Buffalo Trace, but it's got a lot more like it's stickier, right? That's a weird way to explain something. But I was expecting it to be super thin, but it's got a ton of cherry, ton of vanilla and caramel. But like, if I did a blind, I probably could pick that this was some type of Buffalo Trace. The proof's nice. The 125 is nice on it. Again, if you were just getting in, maybe not the right bottle. But if you were looking for a higher proof option to kind of dip your toes in to figure out if you like higher proof, this would be a good bottle to pick. I feel like it matches up, especially if you're if you like drinking like the tater bottles, like the Eagle Rares, so, you know, Blanton's, Buffalo Trace, stuff like this. This would be a good one, good addition. Price-wise, compared to the other benchmarks, this one's definitely the best one, by far. The other ones may be like $2-3 cheaper, but for the extra like 25 proof points and the extra flavor on it so far, I'd go this one. So JC says, what's going on? JC, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday, hopefully. I don't know if you're working, so. Chris says 120 proof, not that bad. This is 125. Crown Royal Vanilla is not 120 proof. That'd be insane. Crown Royal, if they came out with like a high proof one, maybe I'd circle back and take a little taste test. Eric says those benchmarks aren't bad at all. No, I mean, this definitely feels like a high proof budget bottle. The one thing that I'm kind of digging so far on it is my big complaint about benchmarks. My only complaint about benchmarks really is the aftertaste is usually really like not pleasant. And that's the only reason I couldn't even tell them out in the blind is like normally the first couple sips, I'm like, all right, here we go. Couple seconds into the finish, then I'm like, budget. It just tastes like this cheap aftertaste. Kevin says, cheers, what Stagg batch? 24C. I'm drinking full proof right now, though. But welcome. Tuck says, I think that would be implied I had to make... What the fuck? All right. Northfloy says, I've seen Short Barrel Cigar blend maybe next month. This month, budget may be blown away. I feel that Sealbox just announced that they have a Short Barrel Double Oak on their website for $99. It's open to anybody else that wants to go buy it. So if you guys are, you know, if you like shopping on Sealbox and having your whiskey delivered, I'm not affiliated by any means, but that bottle is there. $100, that was kind of tough, you know, and I feel like all short barrels are kind of around that $100. I haven't had one I didn't like. I just didn't buy it. I felt like my budget's already blown. Paul says, I'm a huge Benchmark fan. Great pour. Paul, I was just talking about I have the Benchmark bonded and the single barrel. I keep forgetting to pick this one up. Like, it's a dumb thing to think, like, say, but like, honestly, I went like 3 or 4 times, forgot it. This one, so far, this one's my favorite one. This is the only one. Yeah, it's the only one so far of the benchmarks that don't give me this like weird, like medicinal cherry aftertaste. So far I'm a fan of it. Chris says, I really like the Maker's Mark whiskey. Maker's Mark's not bad. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But I also haven't explored any of their like more sophisticated bottles. I do have their Generations of Proof, which is the 2019, 2020, and 2021 batches are all 375 bottles. I picked up the pack at Costco for fairly cheap. I like all 3 of those a lot, but I don't have any of their other ones, just because it's all kind of Makers to me. So JC says, definitely happy. I was working, changed the tire on the side of the interstate on a semi. Adrenaline rush. I'm poop my pants. Not that like changing a tire, but like a semi, so anything could happen, you know? RMZ says, to me, Benchmark Full Proof is almost up there with Old Granddad 114. Almost. Like budget bottles, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I still personally think Old Granddad 114 to me is better, and it just kind of fits more with what I would personally like. But we haven't broke into the old fashioned yet, and we're going to soon. We're gonna pace ourselves. But like budget bottles, I made a video one time, and you guys can roast me in the comments if you want to. It don't bother me. But I wasn't talking shit about Evan Williams. I just said I've had enough Evan Williams bottled and bond in my life that I don't necessarily need to drink that anymore. I have enough whiskey that probably lasts me a lifetime if I played my cards right, or at least a year. It would last me a year. But I said it was in my top 5 bottles that I don't need to buy anymore, or won't buy anymore, because if I just didn't care for that profile as much as I cared about other things. And I said something like, for $5 more, you can get something better or twice as good. And they're like, what's twice as good? It's Evan Williams. And lost their mind on me. I mean, shit, I'll take this one. It's like $2 more, if not the same price. Full Proof. I like it better. But I like this one a lot more. Not that Evan Williams Bottle and Bond is bad by any means. Just want to make sure I put it out there. But it's a budget bottle. So is this one. But I'll take Old Granddad 114 over Evan Williams Bottle and Bond all day, every day. I'll spend the extra couple, $2, $3, whatever it is. $10, I don't care. So it's not bad. I have one, but I don't drink it. I almost never go to it. The only time I do drink it is when I'm making a video about budget stuff. So, or if somebody else wants to come over, I'll let them drink it. JC says, I also went and bought a new bottle for me. New Riff Single Barrel Rye, 112th proof, 0.3. Pretty solid to me. Not my favorite, but top 10 for sure. I love New Riff. And I like the New Riff Rye 8-year a lot. But I do think that the single barrel, because they're going to be slightly higher proof, a little bit more unique, I feel like those will, I think that will be better than the 8-year. The New Riff Single Barrel Bourbon is better than the 8-year to me. On the right day, right? Because the 8 years are only 100 proof. They are obviously 8-year age, so you get a little bit more like different dynamic, but the single barrels have just been better. New Riff's also going to start having their single barrels be 6-year age instead of 4-year ages. That should start rolling out towards the end of the year, where you start seeing those more on the shelves where it says 6-year instead of 4, which will be pretty cool. Which means I have to buy 2 more bottles. That's when I'll get the rye, for sure. Just because I don't have the single barrel rye, and if they're coming out with that, I'll just wait. He says, yeah, people speeding 80 miles an hour past me, ignoring the company truck lights is annoying. Semi-trucks, I understand, but regular cars can move over. I always try to move over, but it blows my mind how people drive in most cities. JC says, give me that 8-year rye, 110 plus proof, and I'd buy it. I mean, shit, me too. But the 6-year is what I would expect to be 110 plus proof for the single barrels. RMZ says, what's your thoughts on Wild Turkey 101 and Rare Breed? Wild Turkey 101, so I don't have a bottle right now, so I can't like pull it out and drink it, but the I used to love it. It was like one of my go-tos for the longest time, just because it's a little bit cheaper. And I didn't care too much back then when I was drinking. But I also hear it's going down in quality. I don't know if that's because they're focusing on other stuff or like what have you, but that's what I hear. Not that I have that experience. Rare Breed, love Rare Breed. I love the Rare Breed rye and the bourbon. But the bourbon is probably the most affordable, high-proof bottle that still like packs like some serious like quality to me. It's always been like one of my like recommendations for anybody that's getting into it. I think it's 116.8 proof. Yeah, 116.8, like around $50 most places. I know around me it ranges anywhere from like $49.99 to $55, depending on which store. So it's always been a good go-to. The rye, I can't remember what the rye price is. But I think if you're a big fan of like whiskey or bourbon in general, Wild Turkey's on your radar, and you should have some type of turkey product on your shelf. That's just my opinion. Let's do one more small pour, and then we'll make that cocktail. JC said, even a 6-year sounds good. The reason I kept passing on the New Riff is the 4-year age, because the minimum 4-year age means 4 years old, almost never older. Yeah, no. It's always just 4 years. They just wanted to hit the like Bourbon bond mark, and then they have some barrels that are higher proof. So the reason why they were doing the minimum 4-year age is because they were making just enough for that, and then they were throwing barrels to the side. And this is one thing that was really cool with New Riff that I felt like, from a business standpoint, they did it properly, right? They did single barrels. They let a lot of people pick single barrels, but then they still had a cutoff and said, "Hey, like we're not dipping past this barrel limit because everything else they wanted to age." So they had selections of their own stuff that is going to be their 6-year age. They got stuff that are the 8-year. They got stuff that's even farther than that. Then they have their own little selection over here for their 6-year single barrels as well, for picks, for store picks and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool how they said, hey, like I understand we can make a lot of money just by flooding the market with everything, or we still make a good amount of money because people like us, and just hold off and start getting some longer age statements because they figured that's where the real money was going to be to them. That's not words. That's not an interview. That's just what I've heard. So, but I love me some New Riff. One of the sexiest bottles out there too. I love the look. You can't see it. My room's not lit up like that today, but good looking bottle. It's kind of got like this red fruit candy note on it. It just has like a lot more impact compared to the other ones. It's really sweet though. So one thing that is surprising me, this higher proof one, it says extra strong. That's a weird way to put that. I didn't expect it to be that sweet because of the proof. Usually the proof kind of cuts through it, and then you get like left with kind of a lighter sweetness, more just kind of oak, maybe cherry, stuff like that. But that one has a ton of sweetness, which is good. I like it. Nothing wrong with that. Guys, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Make sure you drop a little like on the stream. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. We're on the road to 2,500. We're going to do a little giveaway when we hit 2,500, by the way. But yeah, so far, benchmark, it gets a little stamp. I say go buy that. Yeah, I don't know what the normal price of them is. I believe it's like $22, $25, somewhere in that range. I got mine $19.99. So I guess waiting kind of like paid off in my case because I was waiting for a while. I kept skipping over it. Then I didn't buy the right ones. Then I didn't find it. So if I saved $5 on it, I'll save $5 on it. Let me shoot the wife a text and say, hey, maybe come slide your boy some ice. All right, well, she's taking the trash out, so I can't do that yet. Anyways, so what are you guys sipping on tonight while we wait for the ice to come? Are you guys doing a little New Riff? Are we doing budget bottles tonight too? I saw Old Granddad earlier. Right, my nose keeps like waking out tonight. Anyways, so yeah, let me know what you're sipping on. North Florida says, I was sipping on some New Riff single barrel the other night. It was great. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I love some New Riff, so. Ooh, RMZ says, sipping that Pipe Dream 101. Bro, don't get me started. I love talking about New Riff, so. Or not New Riff, I'm sorry, Redwood Empire. But people kind of got annoyed with me talking about them so much. Lee Samuel says, hi from UK. Well, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Unless it's not Friday over there. I don't know what time it would be. Welcome to the stream. Christian says, fresh crack, the Penelope weeded. Okay, Christian. I feel like you've had a couple weededs. Give me a number. Give me a 1 through 10 on the Penelope whenever it's cracked. I liked it. I thought it was like a good like starter. Like the first drink of the night, it's a good starter. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's never going to be my go-to by any means. But I felt like it was really good for the price and really good as like a palate warmer, right? Something to get the gears growing. 90 proof, 93 proof, something like that. What is it? 93, 95? 93. But it's good. It's good enough. It's not as good as the Barstown Weeded, but it's also like almost half the price. So and it's not as good as Weller. North Florida said, we started the night with a little shot of Pipe Dream 101, sipping some 1942, Jesus, on 1792, full proof, store pick. You know, the Pipe Dream is great. The full proof of the 1792 is not, never been my favorite. The ice wasn't ready.
I went to take it out and it busted.
All of them? All of them, or just one?
No, all of them. But I said,
all right, yeah, I hear you. Why don't you wait on that till she gets here?
because I'll probably go to bed not long after she gets here.
Oh, all right.
And I want to take a bath.
All right, that's fine.
I'll probably just finish that.
All right, that's fine. You gotta shut the door so I can talk. Jesus. All right. Anyway, boys, so we're gonna make that cocktail here in a second. She said the ice wasn't ready. I tried. I'm gonna say it. I tried to give you guys the proper ice. But if you guys know here, I never have a proper ice. But I will say I put an effort in tonight. Not too much effort, you know what I mean? Like just enough to like not make the cut. But it's out there. It all broke in her hand though. JC says, hey, Mrs. H. Miss Call Me Old Fashioned, what's up? Northwest says, we started the night. Oh, I read that. Yeah, so no proper ice. But I don't personally, like, I understand it makes difference. Don't get me wrong. But like when we're like in this kind of a setting, I'm okay with it. It's not the end of the world to me. RMZ says, I'm loving that Lost Monarch too. You know what was funny? Like the Lost Monarch is Stop Clock Racing. Just subscribe. Welcome to the family. Appreciate it as always. We're on the road to 2,500 or 3,000. I don't know where we're at anymore. I lost track. We're on the road to somewhere, and when we get there, we're doing giveaways. But yeah, no, the Lost Monarchs, when I first got it, right, that was like my go-to. Like that's all I wanted to drink. It was really nice, light, approachable. Didn't punch you in the face with anything. It was just really easy to sip on. And I actually liked it a little bit more than the Pipe Dream originally. What's the matter? So, when it comes to the Lost Monarch, that was like my go-to. I'm still holding on to the last little bit of my bottle. I have like maybe 1.5 pours left in that bottle, but it's basically gone. I only keep it on the shelf for show at this point. Jen says, please give me a shout out. Give a shout out to my dog, Finn. What up, Finn? Bro, I'll shout out dogs all day. That would be like a good full-time job, just shouting out dogs. Sign me the fuck up. What Finn? What a cool dog name, too. Finn. JC says, you're about 2,350 subs-ish. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're trying to get 2,500. That's our first goal. Obviously, 100,000 because I want a plaque. But that's not realistic today. So let's focus on what we can accomplish. We can accomplish by making a pretty mean cocktail. And then we can accomplish it in 2,500. I think that's possible. Anything's possible. I need my cherries. So you guys know, whenever I'm trying to do like any kind of review, right? This isn't really a review, but like something where I actually give you like real thoughts. I don't want to kind of veer off. I like using this Woodford's Old Fashioned cocktail syrup for anything like this because one, it's super easy to make with this. I just put like a 1/4 ounce syrup. I don't do anything too crazy, and then I just put a cherry, and then obviously bourbon and ice. But I don't have to do anything too crazy from there. And that way it all kind of stays cohesive. I can make my own, like bitters and stuff like that, but then things get a little off track, you know? But I also like making a smaller sized old fashions. So that way I can drink multiple. Jen, what'd the dog say? Did the dog start freaking out? I'm like, oh my God. Can't believe it. wish the whole chat was just full of dogs. Oh, oh. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. This is not the proper way to make an old fashioned, by the way. If you were here for like that portion, we'll do that a different day with like the proper tools, all the right glasses, the right methods, but not today. Today we're just drinking, kind of. It's still a usable old fashioned. Like if you were like, oh, should I make it like that? You could. It's not bad, but there's ways to make it better. All right. Foolproof old fashioned. Cheers, boys. Big fan of that. It's not the best old fashioned I've ever had because I've had some like insane old fashions recently. But as far as budget goes, I put it up there with Old Granddad. Not that I would beat it, but close enough. My only knock is that the benchmark's already kind of sweet. Even with me putting just I didn't put a ton of that cocktail syrup in there, but it made it a super sweet cocktail. So I do think like cocktails in general are already kind of just sweeter, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? But you got to kind of know going in like you're making something with sugar, you know? But cocktails, pretty good. Choking on the water. Hoo, hoo. Joe says, ahoy. Ahoy. It's a happy Friday from Maryland. What up, Maryland in the house? Anyways, that poll I dropped out, I'm actually surprised. It says, what's better in a cocktail? 59% says benchmark. You know, like if you were going to say like water-wise, or not water-wise, I'm sorry, like price-wise, what's better? I mean, this benchmark, it's not bad. It's not my favorite. I think Joe Unfiltered says, Joe Waters. He said, the two wild Joes have appeared. That's pretty cool. What timing? Did you guys come together, or was that just good timing? RMZ says, I use the same syrup, that Woodford's old-fashioned cocktail syrup. Do I recommend any others? Yeah, to be honest, one of my favorites, Elijah Craig Black Walnut Syrup. That one's really good. It also gives a more unique vibe. Typically, that comes in like the gift sets that you get at around Christmas time with the Elijah Craig small batch. That and the St. Augustine one. The St. Augustine old-fashioned cocktail syrup is actually aged in their Saint bourbon barrels. So it gives it a little bit different dynamic. It's kind of pricey though. Joe Water says, oh man, your poll is hilarious to me. My mom made a cocktail with Stagg, knowing how hard it was to acquire around these parts. Joe, where are you from? Hey, I mean, I do some weird stuff. I do not necessarily recommend you make an old fashioned with a Stagg. I'm just asking, do you think it was better? I do think the whole moral of the point was because benchmark's like, I got this for $19.99. I got the Stagg for almost an extra $0 on that thing, a little bit less. But like, can the benchmark foolproof even come close to where the Stagg is at? Is what more or less I was trying to figure out. You know, is the more expensive bourbon worth it? Now, obviously, I know it's better neat. The Stagg neat it's insane, but I like watching these little budget bottles put up a fight. JC says, water is poison. Drink whiskey. Stay hydrated. Bro, what's the odds that like I choke on the water? I'm like, oh my God, this is harsh. Joe says, we don't always come together. He's just a good friend from a state I've never been to. That's pretty cool, though. What timing, though, you know? Chris says, we have a whiskey and cigar place where I'm at in Florida. Okay. Where you at in Florida, and where is this whiskey and cigar place? They have a cigar place here called the Stogies, downtown St. Augustine. It's not bad, but it's more of like a get drunk vibe rather than like a cocktail bar. I also have a whiskey and cigar place too. It's called my back porch. Just as water isn't poison that you know of. No, I pound through some water on these live streams. I just drank. I didn't expect it to be cold, and it kind of hit me weird. So I was like, wrong pipe. He said, Joe might have a point, actually. Riverview. Let's pull her up. Oh, you're right over there by oh wait. It threw me off because I saw Fishhawk, but that's over you're over by Tampa. Tampa, that's a no for me, dog. Only because I-4. I cannot stand I-4. Driving on it, I almost would rather fly, you know, than drive on I-4. I'm only in Jacksonville, so. Christian says, okay, so I'm several sips in, and I like this Penelope weeded. It's got like a floral dried orange note, almost like potpourri. I did get the orange note. I don't know if I said floral, but I definitely didn't feel potpourri vibes. I kind of got like a weird, kind of weird note on it, though, that I don't think I could pick up. JC says, water and whiskey. That's not poison. Hey, you're not wrong there. That's just water enhancer there. Justice, being from Maryland, our prices are knucking futs. But my gift of gab and cash has allowed me to acquire allocated Stagg, being among the top. Okay. I mean, I like Stagg. It's not my like number one by any means, but it is really good. I think like definitely my favorite Buffalo Trace product that I've had. You know, and I haven't had too many. It's not. I mean, that kind of sounds crazy, but if I find it, sure, I'm down to pick up anything, but for the right price. But like, I'm not really hunting the Blantons. Eagle Rare, if I find that, I typically just drive to Georgia for it. But if I find that, I'll pick that up. Buffalo Trace, I don't even own Buffalo Trace right now. The benchmarks are decent. I guess it's kind of weird because they're up here, but that's not like my go-tos typically. I like quite a bit of different things. But the Stagg was definitely at the top for Buffalo Trace. Joe says I pound through waters too. Be gentle. Be gentle. I mean, you got to pound through it, you know? I mean, the cocktail's good. Don't get me wrong. Let's get a little pour going of the Stagg. I'm not like buzzed enough yet to like really make an old fashioned with the Stagg, but we'll get there. You know what I mean? Eventually. How long are we in the stream for? About 45 minutes. Yeah, night's still young. Joe says, I completed a Stagg 2024 collection with backups. Oh, hell no. You know, personally, I don't really, I mean, there's a few bottles I'd love a backup of. Don't get me wrong. But I never buy backups. There's only been like one or two that I buy backups. Usually, like if it's something that I want, I'll drink the bottle. And then when it's done, then I'll go back and pick it up. there's only a few bottles I really do that for. I always am going for something new and different and just trying to try different things. You know, like there's shelves of whiskey. Not that everybody doesn't have shelves, but it's I like trying either the same brand on a different bottle. I like exploring within distilleries or something completely off the wall. JC, I use reverse osmosis system for my water. Okay. That's what she said. Joe and Filter says, Joe, I saw Stagg 24D for $150 at a store. It was too damn much. I saw the same thing. I saw 24D 150 at a store in Georgia. Over there, right below, like 30 minutes below Atlanta. RMZ says, Eagle Rare by the case in Georgia for $42. I got whatever it was. I got Stagg, or not Stagg, I'm sorry. Eagle Rare for MSRP. They had a ton of it. Georgia's littered with Eagle Rare. That's typically why I'll go there, because you can get it cheap. Here, if you find it not at like a Publix or like a grocery store, you're going to pay $70 to $80 for it. And as much as I love Eagle Rare, that's not the vibe. JC says, nice. Don't always remember specs. Pure can water system. See, that's when like you start out with like that budget bottle and you're like, you know what, this is pretty good. It may have a chance. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, hey, it could happen. We're drinking it. I'm just saying it's pretty good. You start feeling the bottle, right? Start vibing with it. And then daddy comes in and kicks your fucking front teeth out and said, don't you dare put my name in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like Stagg just walked in, just whop. Yeah, Stagg's way better, bro. Stagg just has so much more to it. As far as like notes, flavors, a little tingle. Right, you get a little tingle as you taste that one. All right, it's only like we'll call it 4 proof points higher. That's not enough to like really show out. Have I ever visited Liquor Barn in Kentucky? Give it a shot. Fishing just subscribed. Welcome to the family. Have I ever visited Liquor Barn in Kentucky? No, I have not been to Kentucky in I don't know how long. We'll be there this year though, for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. But by the way, anybody that is in the chat, if you're in the Jacksonville area, are you guys going to the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival tomorrow? That's the question. Or have you got one in your state? Let me know how it was if you went. Joe says, I had the choice between Eagle Rare 1.75 at $80 or Old Forester 1924. I chose 1924 because that bottle won't drop again. But I want that 1.75 Eagle Rare for my shelf. This is like the epitome of like a me answer right here, by the way, Joe. Like, I like things that look really good on the shelf. I'll drink it, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd drink that Eagle Rare. The 1924 I got for fairly cheap for mine, and I love it. It's one of my go-tos. But I'm not saying it's the best bottle in the world by any means, but it fits the notes that I like drinking like semi-daily basis. I like the more desserty feeling bottles, right? That's just stuff that I personally like. But I don't know what I would have chose, you know, because I've never even seen a 1.75 Eagle Rare. I would be like, may need that for the shelf, you know, just to have it. Let's see. Danny says, Jesus, when you guys type wrong, my dyslexic kicks in. I know a thing about this stuff, but what should I order at a bar to seem knowledgeable? For an old fashioned, so my first thing when I go to any restaurant is like, do you have a whiskey or bourbon list or a cocktail list or anything like that, right? And I just kind of check what they have. I don't want their anything in an old fashioned. So I typically, the only thing to sound knowledgeable, it would be saying, hey, can I get this whiskey or this bourbon in an old fashioned? If you're talking cocktails. If you're just talking pours, don't buy it out of the store. Just buy a bottle and bring it home. It's cheaper, better, you get more experience. Not that I won't go to bars and do that, but you got to really know what you're doing. So if you're just kind of starting out, don't do that. Joe Waters says, what's your go-to old-fashioned mixer? It's this one. This is what I keep on the shelf, and we kind of burn through it. Because this is like, it's good. It's semi-cheap. It usually comes in a bigger bottle. But it's a good like baseline. And then I kind of get creative from there. But if I'm not on stream, I make my own. I don't use that. I use cube sugar, Woodford's spice cherry bitters, orange bitters. I usually smoke the old fashioned. I got multiple different smokers. You know, I kind of get a little fancy with it. But the I just unplugged my computer. But like I don't typically use like a cocktail syrup for like what I'm drinking off stream. On stream, it's really convenient and it's really good. Not that this isn't like, you should get that. I highly recommend that. Especially until you learn how to make it yourself. But for cocktail making, that's one of the best syrups. I wish Woodford's was sponsor me because I'd sell the hell out of that thing. But it's good. You can get it at Total Wine, stuff like that. This is like the same price as any small little bottle. That's also like where the value comes in too. But I mean, they just pump out good products. I use all Woodford stuff for cocktails. I used to use their cherries, but their cherries a little bit hard to find and a lot of expensive, but they're good. I use Luxardo sometimes. I'll use the filthy cherries, so I kind of swap that up. But their bitters, A1. So hopefully that helps. IROC says, what's LB today? JC says, I miss Eagle Rare by 37 minutes today. $46 and one per person. It's not my favorite, but second best Buffalo Trace product I've had. But my uncle needs another bottle. Want to find him a half gallon. Yeah, everybody does. I'm with you. Joe says 1924 is so good. It's delicious. Honestly, one of my favorite bottles I got this year. Just from like an overall like enjoyability. Not price-wise or anything like that when people kind of start ripping on price, but like enjoyability, 1924 is good. I at first I was like, I don't get the hype. I didn't like it. I was like, this felt a little too hyped up before I even got it. But when I got it, I was like, I understand. I'm with you. I'm with the people now. Grab my pick a sign. I'm here. RMZ says, I'd love to have that Eagle Rare too, but good choice on the 1924. North Florida says, grab my first Blantons from Publix after a bit of a chat with an old lady, store clerk. She was like, oh, so would you like a Blanton's? I mean, if I was offered it like that too, I'd be like, you know what? Why not? I guess I could have one. No, so anybody that is in Florida, you know, I got word from a couple liquor stores from Publix saying that this was about a week and a half ago. They said in about 2 weeks, you know, Publixes are going to start getting drops a little bit more frequently for the next like week of Blanton's, Eagle Rare, you know, E.H. Taylor's, some Wellers, but it would all be special reserve, not anything higher than that. But some of them are going to get the antique, not the antique collection. What is it called? Like the Prohibition set, where it has like all the really old parts of the antique collection. And then they said one store is going to get 2 versions of Pappy's. I believe it's going to be Lot B. They wouldn't tell me which store though. But that means Florida's getting hit with some allocation of Buffalo Trace soon. So if you guys shop at any of that kind of stuff, feel free. I know Isaiah, who's in the Discord, he posted the other day saying he got a bunch of Eagle Rare and just regular Blantons from Walmart, MSRP. So they're floating out there right now. Joe says Stagg's just so damn pretty on the shelf and so good too. I'm still glad I chose a 1924. At the same time, the Eagle Rare 1.75 was on the shelf, but once again, I want an Eagle Rare 1.75. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think there was a bad choice. 1924, drinkable, way better. But, I mean, a big fat Eagle Rare would look good over there. You know what I mean? Just like, could you imagine just like a fat daddy right here? Everybody like, what's that one? You know what I mean? Christian says, I can't read that. It's too small. Between an Angel's Envy cask strength store pick, John J. Bowman single barrel, Eagle Rare store pick, an Old Forester single barrel strength store pick, all for $80, which one should I grab first? John J. Bowman single barrel, in my opinion. Then I would pick, that's just because I don't have one. Then I would probably pick that Old Forester. I may go Old Forester first too. It just depends on what you have. I really like I like Old Forester a lot. They're Old Forester single barrel strength in store pigs. You know, like I hear those are money. Then the John J. Bowman, but you can swap either one of those. Then Eagle Rare, then Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy is an acquired taste. I personally like it, but it's not my go-to. Even if it was a cask strength, it wouldn't be my go-to. I want one, but it'd have to be at a time where there's like nothing new coming out. And I'm like, you know what? I can get that now. But until that time happens, like I'm not dying for it. So, but yeah, if you have any Old Forester already, then pick John J. Bowman. If you don't have any Old Forester, pick up the Old Forester. You'll be probably more happy with the Old Forester, in my opinion. Joe Water says, Bowman single barrel is so good. See, pick either one of them. You can't go wrong at this point. No Floor says, I may have a 1924 at a store nearby. I was going to check tomorrow, possibly. How much is MSRP? I'm not sure, but I know like prices are ranging right now like 120-ish bucks in Florida. North Florida, they're all over Jacksonville. At one point, there were so many at the Shores Liquors that they would literally have pallets like trying to give it away. You know what I mean? If you bought like a store pick, you could get it for like $80 at one point. So I don't know what happened. They were saying like it was super limited. Then all of a sudden it got flooded in the market. They just had so much extra. And I don't know if that's because everybody was saying like the Old Forester 1924 is good, but it wasn't worth the price it was selling for. I didn't buy it at that time. I wasn't even paying attention. So RMZ says, I'm with you on the John J. Joe Unfiltered says, I got my first store pick of John J. Bowman yesterday. Super excited to crack it. Have you cracked it yet, Joe? Let me know. Everybody else is hyping it up. I've been looking for one, so it's not like I can be like, let me go pick it up. I haven't found it yet. Carson says, Our Father graces my screen. Our Father. You're not talking about me, right? You saying I look that old? Damn. I saw a picture from me a year ago. Because a year ago we did our maternity photos because my kid's birthday's coming up. Bro, I didn't have this much gray. Between you guys, the kids, March Madness, I'm turning gray. So, age has hit me like a ton of bricks. But Carson, welcome to the stream, baby. Happy Friday. Oh, damn, Carson, don't. Hey, that's for Discord talk right there. You know what? I was gonna doll the beard up for you boys, but I didn't. So maybe tomorrow. You know what? It's funny. On stream, or off stream, let's say, I really like drinking high proof stuff. On stream, I get nervous drinking high proof stuff because I'll stream for like 2-3 hours. We're just now hitting the 1 hour mark. So appreciate you guys staying this long, but there's no way I can drink high proof for 3 hours straight. You know, that's just not me. Joe says Carson was a little more than a sip from that Glen Cameron. Hey, we're here for the people, baby. He says Joe knows something about. No joke, I've had this cough for almost a month now. That cold that's been running around the world, messing people up over here. Anyways, so what should we drink next? I'm down to do a couple pours before I make my next cocktail. You know, I'll leave these up here for show, but Carson says I'm drinking wine with the wife tonight. Okay, but what wine? Are we drinking red? Are we drinking rosé? I need the deets. Carson says you got the 5-week cold too. Yeah, but I don't feel sick anymore. But I have this like lingering cough that's just annoying. Joe Water says, "See, you got me. You got him. You got us." Chris says, "I feel I usually start at 90 to 100 proof, then cap the night off with a high proof pour." So, Christian, you know, the way I like to personally do my drinking is I like to start off with a low proof, kind of warm the palate up, right? 90-ish proof, then kind of work up to like a bottled and bond. This is just off stream type things, right? Like I mean on stream too. 90, then work up to a bottled and bond, right? Then kind of move into like maybe like a single barrel at 110 proof. Sometimes I do Old Forester 1920, which is 115. And then I like to work into a high proof. And then I like to work my way back down. One thing that's really weird about me, some people like to drink just one bottle at a time. I like to drink multiple bottles. I like having a different pour of multiple bottles a night. I don't know why. It's just my thing. So, Joe says, what wine? IROC says wine is terrible. Carson breaks out something there's no way I could even pronounce. Just tell me red or white or rosé. Like, let's make it easy on me. You know, I was trying to be interactive here. Just help me out. You know what I mean? I'm not a wine guy. Now, I will say the St. Augustine, like the sweet red wine they have, it's actually pretty good. But like it's sweet. You know what I mean? I like their rosé too. I don't like their cab. I don't like dry wine. I don't really care for wine like that. So, he's like, that sounds Italian, and I need pasta. Bro, facts. Yeah, Italian red. Hey, we're here for it. Guys, if you're just tuning in, welcome to stream. Happy Friday. Make sure you drop a little like on the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, what are you doing? Let me know what pour we should pour up next for just like a whatever pour. I got the Penelope Havana that's semi-new. Obviously, I can pour up 1924 because that sounds like a good time every time. You know, I got a couple other things too. Really, anything sounds good tonight, so I'm down for whatever. But if somebody says Caribou or Whistle Pig, like, get the fuck out. Like, just go. The door's over there. Or Bland's. Like, don't say Bland's. It's like a different cab, basically. Hey, drink what you like. I'm here for it. As long as the wife's happy with the wine, then I don't care what you think, to be honest. So, but yeah, I mean, that's not my jam. Me and the wife used to drink like rosé when we first started dating. That was just like our thing. Like, we just drank bottles of rosé. I don't know why. Go watch Rosé and Harry Potter. Raging Caden says, cheers all. Raging, welcome to the stream. You're a little late. I'll have HR reach out to you, but it's cool. IROC says, I need another pour. What am I doing? So I know you got Old Granddad 114, right? Do you have a Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, IROC? I think you should go with that. RMZ says, I'm with you. I like drinking multiple bottles in a night. It keeps it interesting. Oh, my camera died. Bro, this camera's got to go, boys. Like, that's first priority coming up, is like just get a different camera, because this one cannot keep a charge to save my life. So we're going to swap batteries, but if you come here for cohesive cameras, you may have came to the wrong place. You know what I mean? It looks good. Don't get me wrong. It looks good. but the cameras die. Yeah, RMZ. That's what's kind of fun to me. Is like you don't have to do the same bottles every night, but you get to swap them up between bourbons and ryes and whiskeys, different proof points. It's just kind of fun to like drink all your whiskey, but also kind of have fun with it, right? I do like to stick to the low proof and kind of do like a couple in between, then get to a high proof, and then work my way back down. You know what I mean? That's just how I typically like it. Is a lot of people don't like. I usually like to start off with my expensive stuff and then finish off with my like cheaper stuff. Ark says, sure do. It's gonna happen. Good. I mean, the Heaven Hill is good stuff. So Christian says, how was the wedding? The great couple. But some of the most craziest shit happened while I was there. Not the couple's fault by any means. But there was another photographer there that I was competing with. It was, I can't even explain it, and nor do I even necessarily want to talk about it because I don't want to like say anything that's like bad because the couple was great. Honestly, one of my favorite couples this year. One of my favorite couples. But it was so bizarre, the things that transpired in that day, like from like this weird photographer thing that happened that like blew my mind the whole day. I was so confused. So one day I'll talk about it in Discord or something, but I definitely am not going to do that live. Joe on Filter said, Raging Cajun, what's up, baby? I can barely see, so I'm like leaning in like, oh man, what's that say? iRock says he's doing the Heaven Hill. I don't care for I don't want Heaven Hill tonight, but it's not a bad pour. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I can jump all the way back down, do a little Penelope Havana, or something else I haven't drank in a while. We can do short barrel sap squatch. It's been a minute since I've had that. Well, a minute. I just haven't had it in a while. I've only had it once on stream. Or I got to save my Lucky 7. My Lucky 7 holiday toast. Did anybody buy this during the holidays? It's the little movie ticket looking bottle. It's a toasted double oak. It's money. But it's definitely like a winter vibe. I just need to keep that bottle intact for the winter. Like when Santa's coming down the chimney, I'm drinking Lucky 7 double oak toasted. Joe says, sipping some Disco 11 and chilling. Disco 11. I don't have any of that. I wish. Bardstown stuff. I have Bardstown single barrel, 126 proof. And then I have the rye, which we call the Infinity Rye because it never goes down. And then we have the Bardstown Wheated. That's the new one we got. I'm down for the Wheated, too. Sipping some 2XO Tribute. I don't have any 2XOs. Somebody's out there revving. I'm like, cool. Cool, bro. I'm waiting for the Havana to drop here. I just got lucky with the Havana. I really also just realized I just picked out 2 maple finish. Like, I wasn't dying for a maple finish, but the Havana I picked up because I went to the store that I typically go to for store picks. And I was only going there because I knew they had the Penelope barrel strength, and I was like, that would be something cheap and fun to pick up, right? And they usually have it on sale there, but they had this bottle for points, and I have a boatload of points with them. I just never use it because they just never get anything that I care too much to get with points. Like, I'm not gonna pick up, for example, like just regular Redwood Empire cash strength with my points. I'll get that somewhere else, you know? So I just save them up. And then I saw this, and it was like 400 points, something like that. And I was like, all right, let's just get it. Because I was diving in pretty deep to the Penelopes, so I was like, why not, you know? 2XO is worth picking up then? I see it on shelves. There's a few people in here that really love the 2XO stuff. I have not personally had it. But I hear good things. But the prices range so much on them, so I don't know which one to pick up, which one makes the most sense. I don't personally know, so I can't necessarily recommend. Bor says, you got the Havana. That was last stream, bro. You're a little late, but welcome. Welcome back. Carson says, someone try a shoot in the middle of the cemetery? No. I wish. That'd be kind of fun, actually. Like, that's at least creative. No, the wedding that I did, they were just... There was an unwanted photographer there as an extra who just was messing up the day. It was just weird. Joe Water says, I got the real and the toasted rye. I have the toasted. I don't have the real or the toasted rye. I don't know if I want the rye. I do want the real, but only for like research purposes. Rayden says, call me old fashioned. I think you would like the tribute blend. It's like 104 proof Woodfords, but a slight dark fruit on it too. Okay. Bro, Raging out here is about to sell me on 2XO. What's up? A little Woodfords with a little dark fruit? That sounds like a good time. All right. What's the price on that one? Does anybody know? Or is it about to be like $200? Because part of my issue with 2XO is like, I honestly have not seen a lot of their entry level bottles. I see some of their more expensive ones, but I'm not entering into a brand at 150 bucks. You know what I mean? Like, give me something a little bit cheaper. I'll dip my toes in. If I even remotely like it, then I'll try your more expensive ones. And I understand the cheaper one's going to be less desirable, not as good as maybe the more expensive ones in some cases. But like, I'm not dipping my toes in at 150. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm being too picky, but that's me. I'm picky. Under 100, I'm okay with that. I don't need a bunch. I don't need it to be cheap. I don't need it to be budget. But I just need it to be slightly under 100 bucks. That's an okay entry point for me. That's funny. We are one away from 2,355 subscribers. Somebody drop a little sub so we can hit there. If you haven't already subscribed and you're watching, what are we doing? Forget about it. It's just all of a sudden I turn Italian. Kidding. Carson says, is everyone over the Angels Envy craze? I've noticed they aren't moving near me anymore. A lot of dust on the bottles at my spot. I think Angels Envy came out pretty hot and heavy. Everybody's like, ooh, let me try it. But it's not everybody's cup of tea. I think Angels Envy is hit or miss for a lot of people. The only Angels Envy that I've ever been like, yeah, I actually really like this was the Triple Oak. And a lot of people don't even like the Triple Oak. I personally like it because it's not the same as like their original stuff. But they're a little bit, how do I word this? I feel like Angels Envy is slightly overpriced for what you get. So if they came down in price, I feel like they would sell a lot more. But I feel like they're too proud to do something like that, you know? I just don't think a lot of people ever fully got behind Angels, especially for the price, you know? Because at the same time, there was a big Elijah Craig phase. And Elijah Craig's cheaper and way better, in my opinion. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. I can play it without getting monetized for like a split second. I got you. I got you. That's enough to get copyrighted. That's the Havana song, by the way. Carson says, I don't dislike it. It just seems very basic. It does. And that's the kind of the issue is it's built like high price, but with like basic tasting notes. So I always recommend, like with stuff like that, like try it. Why not? But just figuring out if it's for you or not. Because if you get into like an Angels Envy craze, it's expensive. You know what I mean? In my opinion, not too worth it. But I like the Triple Oak. Triple Oak's like $70 though. So there's better double oaks out there. To me, Angels is like one of those brands now that like you got to have a pretty decent whiskey collection, and you're just trying to be like, well, let me make sure I cover all my bases and grab an Angels. That's who's buying it, in my opinion. They're just like, yeah, let me one more. What's it gonna hurt? Iraq said the triple oak was good. I like the triple oak. Carson says, like a very clinical flavor. Tempting. Band hammer. Oh, me? I know, I was trying. Joe says, I still don't understand how some strangers play songs all day and others can't. I mean, I used to play all types of crazy music, but you can't monetize those videos. Not that like that's the end all be all for a lot of this stuff, but it's just a pain to deal with once you hit like a monetized level. Like you got to deal with like YouTube bitching at you. So I don't try to do that. That or you buy the rights, or I can play music, but I haven't hooked up my things that I pay for, because I have a lot of stuff I pay for already for my photo business, that if I just link to this channel, I can play all different types of music. Not the stuff you hear on the radio, but music. But if you're watching any like majorly big YouTuber, they're just buying the rights to the song because it's only like a couple $100. What do they care when that's like a drop in the bucket for what they're going to make on it? Trav in the chat says, yo, just checking in, letting you know I'm hopping in the shower and drinking a beer. Well, okay, well, Trav, I have two questions then. Are you just thinking about us before you get in the shower, or are we a shower thought? It's two different things. That and what kind of beer are you sipping on in the shower? These are major questions I need to know the answer to. If I had to guess, he's like more of a Miller Lite kind of guy for this kind of phase, right? He may switch to an IPA later, but like when he's pounding them, I feel like he's a Miller guy. That, and we're definitely a shower thought. You know what I mean? We're both. We're shower thoughts and before. We're all day. That's all he thinks about. Kidding. Is anybody in the Jacksonville area? I don't know how much of my viewers are from Jacksonville, but if you're from Jacksonville, Florida, who's going to the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival tomorrow? In Jacksonville, obviously. iRock says, bro, shower beers are legit. Shower beers are good. Don't get me wrong. And I do like a good light beer in the shower. You ever have a shower cocktail? A little shower old fashioned? I'm just saying. From a night of drinking, still kind of a little buzz or hungover, throw back an old fashioned in the shower. I'm just saying. That's some real alcoholic shit. But like when you're on like a vacation and you're rallying, that's when those things come into play, by the way. That's not like a Tuesday and you're trying to get up for work. Let me make sure that's clear. But if you're trying to rally on a vacation, you're on a cruise, and you're like, hey, get it together. You can do this. A little shower old fashioned. Actually, on the cruise, it would be what do we drink? A little shower amaretto sour. Those hit on a cruise. That's like a fruit. Am I fucking Spider-Man? What happened there? Oh shit, I'm knocking all types of shit over right now. Carson says, did you ever find yourself going through periods where you're into different profiles? I go through phases where I'm into sweet bourbons, then nutty bourbons, and sometimes I lean into finishes. Yeah, Christian, great question. So when I first started, I was not, I never had phases, right? I was just drinking whatever, whenever, and I was having a great time. The more whiskey I got, like I'd find a bottle. I'll give you an example. When I got this bottle, right? Because just so everybody knows, I was never the biggest rye fan. I had a few ryes I really hated. And then I picked up this bottle, Redwood Empire Rocket Top Rye. This one is a 89% rye, 5% wheat, and 6% malted barley, bottled and bond, so it's 100 proof for Redwood Empire. This bottle just hits for rye. It's won in multiple blinds for me. This is batch number 4 too, if anybody's like super curious. But as soon as I drank this, like it was really hard for me to switch back to like a sweet bourbon. Like I was just like, that's not what I want. It's too sweet. It's too malty. It's too whatever. So all I wanted to drink at that time was rye, because just that's the only thing my palate would feel okay with. So I went through a weird little rye phase, like if I was like emo for a second or something. Eventually, my palate kind of evened out, and it's like, hey, we enjoy both. Let's do both, right? And then there's sometimes, this is a more frequent one, where my palate just acclimates to like the more desserty bourbons, right? 1924 Woodford's Double Oak, Lucky 7 Holiday Toast, Nulu Double Oak, a lot of double oaks in general, because that's like one of my favorite things. So then when I drink something normal, it's like, whoa, what the fuck is that? You know, so it's just, yeah, absolutely. My only thing is like, just enjoy the flow of your palate, you know? If you go through a phase, enjoy that phase. You know what I mean? Enjoy the nutty bourbons. Enjoy the great finished bourbons, right? It's going to lead you to really good bottles. Kind of branch your collection out as well if you're collecting anything or collecting open bottles and you're drinking it. But that's kind of the fun of whiskey, you know? Drink what you like, drink what you want, and kind of just allow yourself to not get bought into all the hype, all the allocation. If you're really into finished bourbons, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, drink the finished stuff. Who cares what if somebody says, ooh, I hate amaretto, or any kind of finish in general. Like maple has been a big thing right now because Penelope. But like, if you don't like maple and you're like, I'm a big honey finish, then drink the honey finish. You know what I mean? So there's my little rant on that. Trav says, currently in the shower, Schinner Bach in the bottle. Love Miller, love Coors. Honestly, don't discriminate against beer unless it's sweet. I hate sours though. I mean, I don't know anybody that likes a sour beer too much. Nighttime shower pours are my shit. Christian said, hey, here we go. It's a good time. Trav says, next week, it'll be my B-day, and I'll pop in probably when I'm getting in the shower, LOL. Hey, when's your birthday, Trav? Next Friday? Kansas City Gunslinger says, just got here and he's already drunk. Damn, son. Who's drunk? Me? I wish. I don't know, I'm a little tired, but we've only been live an hour and 23 minutes. I wish. I just can't normally talk, so. I've been down in energy drinks, just trying to like keep her floating. 28th. Yeah, next Friday. All right. Well, you come in. We'll sing you happy birthday or something. That, or we should send you like a little sample or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll talk in the Discord. 25th birthday anniversary. Trav, you're only 25. God damn, bro. You gotta break out my walking stick for this conversation. Just it says, I like some sours in the summer. Swamp Head makes lemon days and a lemon Berliner that is great after working in the heat. I mean, I was trying to explain this to the wife earlier. Like, all my double oaks are gonna kind of go to the wayside for a little bit. I don't like to drink double oaks too much during the winter. Or I'm sorry, during the summer, because I feel like they're more winter, right? I like drinking lighter, more floral. That's why I think that Penelope Rosé, like that's gonna be a good summer drink. Like it's light, it's still sweet, it's still a whiskey. I still like whiskey. Don't get me wrong. I'm not drinking vodka during the summer or nothing, but I like things that are a little bit more floral, citrusy, and stuff like that. It just feels summer vibes, you know. IROC says, bro, I feel so old. IROC, I'm with you. I'm with you. We're saying happy 25th birthday to people. I feel like I should have a card with $20 in it for them, you know? My instincts to go to Hallmark and just pick them something cheesy out is just kicking in. Iraq says, I'm 14 years older than 25. That's fucked. So that makes you 39? Oh my God, how old am I? I'm not too far off from Iraq, but I'm gonna feel good about you being older than me right now. So you're gonna be on your own. I'm just gonna be over here, just enjoying my youth, I guess. But anyway, boys, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, drop a little like, subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2,500 subs. When we hit 2,500, we're going to do a giveaway to 2 different people. One of the members, one of the regular subscribers during the chat, during the live stream. We'll give away 2 samples, really anything off the shelf you want. But yeah, you guys pick. I'm not going to break down everything I have. You guys will kind of know at that point. Obviously, you can pick some of the more heavy hitters like Russell's, 13th Colony Double Oak, Havana, if that's what you really want. And then, yeah. So 2,500, the next stream after that, we'll do that. Kansas City Gunslinger says, what's your favorite weeder? Been loving them lately. So it kind of depends on the context, right? Because I really do actually like the Weller Special Reserve. I know a lot of people give it shit. I do like this a lot. But it's only 90 proof. So I can't really say that's my favorite. It is my favorite, but only for like non-drinking reasons. My favorite's going to be right now. No, let me preference this. I've not had the Green River weeded. I feel like that one may beat it. But right now, the Bardstown weeded is money. 106 proof. What's the mash bill on this? It's a 6-year age, 63% corn, 39% wheat, 8% malted barley. It is 106 proof. But Bardstown just puts some good stuff out. You know, price on it's around 50 to 55 bucks. That one's probably a good go-to for me. I like the Penelope, and Penelope's a lot cheaper. It's got less proof and less flavor. So there's stages. You know what I mean? I probably pick like Weller. Well, actually, I go Penelope, Weller, then this one. As far as like top 3. Now, I may be missing somebody. Oh, fuck. Ben Holiday, soft red wheat. All right. Penelope, Weller, soft red wheat, Bardstown. Soft red wheat might actually take over this one just from like a preference standpoint. Trav says I'm crying, LOL. I still feel 18. So do I sometimes. Like sometimes I forget, right? Like that I'm actually like way older than I think in my head. There was a guy at work the other day. He's like, man, I'm getting tired. And I go, I get it. And then he was like, yeah, but I turned 22 tomorrow. And I was like, 22? I said, oh my fuck. Like, I remember when I was 22. I remember what I was doing, but that was like a long time ago. So I get it. You know what I mean? But just kind of enjoy the ride. And I regulars, bro, I get to retire in 2 years. Can't wait. That's from the military, bro. He says, what are we sipping? I'm sipping a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? I like to taste around the bottles. I just did the Penelope Havana. It's good, bro. It's a good bottle. I wish it was a little higher proof. It's sweet as all can be. But then I did finally pick up the Benchmark Full Proof. It's going to be up there for budget bottles for me. And then Stagg. You know what Stagg is. You know what I mean? Just money bottle. North Florida says, I grabbed the Green River Weeded at Kentucky Gunslinger. Really nice. It was only $32.99. I'm looking to grab the Penelope and the Bardstown next. The Green River Full Proof was really good. So I imagine their weeded is just money. But it's just, I mean, I got to try it. Gunslinger says I'm 27. I can't remember if I'm 27 or 28. I have to ask my wife. Gunslinger, That's the most relatable comment I've ever seen. Reason being is because I've been with my wife for a while now. I think since I was 25, and every year I'm like, how old am I? No joke. The moment I turned 30, I didn't even realize I was 30. I go, how old am I? She goes, 30. I go, I'm how old? Like, fuck. So the only I couldn't tell you how old I am now. She'd have to come in here and tell me. So she keeps track. So I relate to that by all means. You're right in that sweet spot too, where you have to kind of like look for the reference. You're like, how old am I? Where are we? What year is this? Christian says, bro, have you had the Rebel Reserve small batch? I have not. I haven't really had any of the Rebel, except for the like budget one that I didn't care too much about. Hill Billington. Bro, I still love that name. It's what a great name. It says tan label. Yum, that's the weeded. That's the weeder. Let me put the Havana back. Make sure my shelf looks good, you know? I feel like I need to pour up the weeded now. North Forest says, what to grab next? Blue nut? Blue what? Blue note? Or 13th Colony 113? Or maybe some Green River? Bro, the 13th Colony 113, if you, North Florida, if it's around you and you see an extra bottle, just buy it and I'll send you the money. That's what I need. So if you find, like if you go out tomorrow and you find one, just message me in the Discord. I'll just cash app you the money and you just hold the bottle till I can come pick it up. Because I'm not going to find it. I thought you literally just messaged me in the Discord. I'm like, I got one for you. My phone went off. I knew it's not you, but if you find one, an extra one, just let me know. I'll just send you money. I'll send you hold me money. I don't care. I'm not going to find it on my own here. So yeah, 13th Colony. 13th Colony. You know what? Let me put this back. I know this is good, but I feel like we can do this a different day. I'm gonna break out the regular 13th Colony. Oh shit! How am I gonna get this out? There we go. This 13th Colony. There's so many weird noises going on outside of my house that it's crazy. Joe Water says the Havana has an almost lighted effect to it. It stands out like a sign on the Vegas Strip. Joe, this is one of the only reasons why I bought that bottle. Not one of the only reasons, but that's what attracted me to that bottle. I'm like, that looks fucking sick on the shelf. Definitely gives me like late night Miami vibes because I'm from Miami originally. It feels like home. You know what I mean? Like it feels good. But I will say now that I have it, not a knock to them, it's cool. It looks good. So let me draw a line there. But at the same time, it kind of gives me like a cheapo vibe because it's just a sticker. You know what I mean? Like it looks cool. I like it. Also kind of cheesy and cheap looking. Just saying. The building says you just got a single barrel 13th and maple. Okay, show off. I do want a single barrel because I heard all the single barrels of cast strength. I'd love one. Northwood says, let me pop up to Bourbon Barn tomorrow. They had some at MSRP. I'm okay with even slightly over. I just want one. Okay, within reason. Don't go drop $200 and be like, cash at me $200. That's not worth it. But like, within reason, you know. Joe says, makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it on the shelf. It matches really well with all the Penelopes. Let me show you. Let me show you. All these from this one, that's New Riff right here. But then all right here, all the way down, oh, you can't even see them all. You can see to the weeded, and then I got the rosé, the barrel strength, and the toasted after that. But you can't, my camera doesn't go that far. I also just realized that's my my lights just got stuck on the white. Let me fix that. There we go. All right, let's see. Travis says, I saw 3 bottles of 13th Colony Double Oak. I heard it was trash. No? What the fuck? What are you talking about, bro? Just kidding. Oh. You already drank the whole thing? No. I still have it. I mean, it's one of those bottles where I have a majority of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of my favorite bottles. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever buy another one. Like, it's good. But how much different could you get? If I ran out and I ran across another one for MSRP, like, no brainer. Pick it up. Like, that's blasphemy. You know? Like, you pick it up. But it's also like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me completely, like, talk any kind of smack, because it's a great bottle. But I don't like paying secondary. And the only way I'm ever going to get that bottle is either luck or secondary. And I'm not that lucky. To the contrary, that it looks like I am, because I got the Russells and the 13th by luck, you know? So this one, by the way, this one's going to be the 13th Colony Southern Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 95 proof. When I drank this one last time, if you've never had 13th Colony, they do not match up with, like, Buffalo Trace, where it's all sweetness. They don't match up with, you know, the Jack Daniels, and it's got that distinct note. 13th Colony's distinct note is tobacco and leather. But this one is the equivalent to drinking like a freshly made brand new shoe. The leather note on it is so prominent that you're just like, holy shit, what is that? In a good way, though. But, like, if you don't like I call them manlier notes, right? Tobacco, leather, you know, more like wood chip feeling, you know, like, that's what I get from these bottles. And I like it a lot. It's different, it's unique. But if you don't like that, then these bottles really aren't for you. I will say this one, really thin compared to the other ones. It's still good, though. But these are really cheap, comparatively. Christian says, the Green River Wheated was my least favorite Green River. The straight bourbon is better. The full proof is a value monster. I have the full proof. I love it. It reminds me of Thin Mints. But I do want to try the wheated, right? I feel like that's a fair adjustment to say, hey, let me try theirs. I'm not saying it's going to be the best thing in the world, right? Because all wheated that I have so far is semi-low proof. Now, I do have the Screamin' Titan wheated as well. I don't necessarily recommend that one too much, only because it's probably the most expensive wheated I have, and it didn't even beat out the Devil's Tower, which isn't a wheated, but it's a small lot series of bourbons. It's good, but it's like $90. So I'd much rather have that Bardstown, or probably even, I don't know about the Penelope, but I'd rather have the Weller. I think it's good, right? I love Redwood Empire, don't get me wrong, but it's the only bottle I was ever chasing and like going, I hyped it up. I think, and that was probably the issue. I hyped it up too much in my head that it just never could match up to what I was hoping it was going to be. Northfloor says, another store was making you buy the standard 13th Colony to have the opportunity to buy the 113 at MSRP. I got there right when they got it, so they let me buy it at $10 over MSRP at $73. I mean, I'll buy both. Like, if that's what I have to do, buy both for me. I don't care. Depending on price. Shoot me the message of the price. Just find me the bottle. I'm kidding. You don't have to. But if you find it, because I know you said it was a lot over there, it's not a lot by me for some reason. How about this, North Florida? If you find it, and they say, hey, you have to buy the 13th Colony regular standard to get that 113, I'll just give you the regular standard 13th Colony, and then I'll pay for it. And then I'll just come pick up the 113. And you can keep this version. I don't care. Trav says, what's the draw to Redwood Empire? Trav, multiple things. So I do really like the flavor profile. That's first and foremost, right? Because that's what's in the bottle. I do like how Redwood Empire has different mash bills within their own distillery, and a lot of them, right? Because they got the Lost Monarch little segue, they got the Emerald Giant segue, they got the Pipe Dream segue. The Pipe Dream one is the one that did the best, and they obviously capitalized on that with regular white label, cask strength, and Pipe Dream 101. And even the Pipe Dream 101 is a different mash bill than the regular Pipe Dream, which I thought was pretty unique to even switch it up, right? Then they have their Bourbon Bond series, which are cool, fun labels. Those are what attracted me originally. But Grizzly Beast is money. So is Rocket Top. Both of them have won a lot of blinds that I've done. I believe they both won the Rye blind and the Bourbon Bond blind. I could be wrong, but run the tape. You can go watch it. The Small Lot series have been majorly, they've been good, but I'll say they're also been the biggest letdowns. Because Devil Tower is a high rye bourbon, which is my favorite. It's just a little, it's unique as hell. Screaming Titan is good, but it is a weeded. It just, again, I feel like I hyped it up in my own head too much. The Van Dusen, which is like a high malt, it's the only one that I've been like, I could do without. It's also why I didn't pick up the Foggy Bureau, because it's a single malt too, so I didn't pick that one up. But overall, I really like them. They're different. They're unique. They're not the typical Kentucky bourbon that is in almost every bottle, hence why I like them so much. It's also why I like New Riff and Still Austin so much, because they're different. They give a different take on whiskey, and that's all I'm really looking for. That's also why I like 13th Colony. They're in different places of the world. They give different expressions. To me, that's what I want. Like, I want to try something different that is also similar, right? I want it to be close enough that I enjoy it, but far enough away that I'm like, wow, that's different. If that makes sense. No Fleur says, I don't mind showing the love to two stores. So one has a bourbon drop coming up in April. Gainesville Wine Spirits, Old Forester. Store pick next month. Hey, down for that. Tuck says, please mix some Penelope Weeded and Buffalo Trace, 1-on-1. I don't have any Buffalo Trace. Like regular Buffalo Trace. Northwood says, weird, they don't have it up there. I'll go grab it in the AM. Look, North Florida. Hey, when you do pick it, if you do get it, I will bring you samples. Because I use samples of the two Fat Daddies over here anyway. Bro, I will say, if you guys are in Florida, Gainesville in general has been cooking, like whipping it up in the bourbon scene. What I mean by that too is like St. Augustine's they get some allocated stuff, but it's all secondary. It's all like come pay your life away. Jacksonville, kind of similar, right? But it has its own little bourbon scene, so like a lot of single barrels, which I like. But a lot of point systems, a lot of super hard to get allocated for secondary stuff. Gainesville is like one of the few places I've gone to that I've gotten two super hard to get allocated bottles. One was at a bourbon drop, one was at a raffle. But both of their stores in general as well were like, they had good selections. They had the Penelope, I can't pronounce it, Tochi cast or whatever you call it. I don't know what it is. But they had it on the shelf. They're like, yeah, you can buy it. So if I go to Gainesville, I know I'm picking that one up. So Trav says, love it. That take, not all great bourbon comes from Kentucky. I mean, I agree. Trav, I just keep replaying the $1.99 thing. $19.99 from Trav says, for the boys. Hey, that's going straight to the March Madness bank account, and we're about to resend that. I'm just saying, we're going to triple it. So when we hit it for like 500,000, we'll send it right back. Appreciate it, Trav, as always. Coming through clutch. North Florida says I picked up Buffalo Trace for $24.98 from Walmart. That's a good pickup. Like I like that. That's a good deal. I saw it the other day for like $36, and I was like, I feel like that's too high. But I haven't actually looked to pick up Buffalo Trace in a long time. I do want one because I feel like that's a very crowd pleasing bourbon. Like I don't have a lot of people over here often to this room in particular. Bro, the lights are opposite. I gotta call the people that do this light thing and tell them they need to get their shit together. Because that's one thing that I cannot stand is the lights being wrong. Trav says, "Oh, Tux, he'll never forget that shit." Bro, I had to rewatch the stream because I'm like, did I really do that? I thought you guys were just messing with me. Obviously. But now I literally, that's all I ever think about at this point. He's like, we will make sure of it. That's funny. Yeah, so like somebody came over here the other day and they're like, hey, I want a drink. What do you recommend? And I was looking at my whole collection. I go, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I obviously didn't want to offer them like my expensive stuff because I could tell like they weren't going to enjoy it the way I do. So I was like, all right, well, what do I go to? Do I give them like the budget bottle and feel like a dick? Or do I give them like mid-range? Do I go high proof and just say fuck it anyway? You know, like there was too many questions I had. I felt like I was about to do 52 questions with this guy just to give him a drink. I'm like, what do you want? Like, you pick. If you pick it, I'm not going to tell you no, but just don't pick anything I wouldn't want you to pick. Right? I just woke up. It was the father-in-law. And we gave him caribou. We gave him caribou. You know what I mean? He enjoyed it. He loved the bottle. I hate caribou, though. So I'm glad he liked it. Like, we're going to give it to him next time we see him, but... Doug says, $1.99 from Trav. North Florida says, I might even share some Fish Hawk spirits. Oh, you're going to share it with me? Smoky corn has an intense flavor that makes me want to come back to it again. Leans towards Scotch, but I don't know. I like it a lot. I mean, I'm not the biggest Scotch fan, but I feel like the one thing that would really... So, how do you word this? I want to get into Scotch. I don't want to pay the money to get into Scotch and still not like it. You know what I mean? If there was like a bourbon, if there was a middle ground between bourbon and Scotch that I can meet in the middle, right? That's what I like. That kind of sounds like what you're describing. So I'd love to attempt to try that. We still need to go to distillery regardless because I still feel like that would be good for the channel. But yeah, I mean, we got to figure it out eventually. Tuck says, please mix some JD10 with Woodford's Double Oak. 1 and 1. I mean, Tux, I love the ideas. Where's it coming from? Why do you want me to mix that, though? Jack 10 and Woodford's Double Oak? All right, let me put this stuff back. Oh. I gotta make some room. I don't have enough room on my Buffalo Tree shelf now. I gotta put the Stagg back in its place. Good enough for me. We'll leave the 13th colony for now. Joe says, I understand why people like certain things, but to me, caribou is pretty shelfer for guests. The Blanton's normal isn't worth the price. I haven't had Blanton's Gold or straight from the barrel, but regular Blanton's pass. You know, Joe, for me, I like Blanton's. There's nothing wrong with it. But I understand the hype because I understand marketing pretty well. It's good. It's not worth $100+. And I said that from the first time I tried it. Like, it is a very good basic bourbon, but I feel like it's more like a $60 bottle at best. The caribou is absolute dog shit. And I personally think my bottle is just a really bad bottle. I understand people love it. People talk about it all the time. My bottle is the equivalent if you were on a long road trip, had nowhere to piss. You piss in a bottle, put a cork on it, and said, here, I'm giving you this. Like, it is not good. All Canadian, all piss, not good. Like, I have no hard feelings about saying that because it's just not good, right? And I've tried it multiple times. It made my second. I didn't make worst whiskey of the year because I have a love-hate relationship with something else, but it was second. So, oh, Tuck says double double, not double oak. Hell no, not gonna happen. I'm not mixing that with nothing. Double double needs to be cherished because that's my bottle. Norfolk says, I asked the distiller about if they had anything that was close to bourbon. He said, bourbon is easy. And that was it. LOL. Love it. Such a great experience. He's like, only 45-minute drive from the office, down back roads. I mean, one thing I do love, whether if it's a really good experience or bad experience, like from whiskey drinking, going to a distillery is always fun because you get to learn a little bit from what they do, why they do it, and you can kind of figure out, like, even if you didn't like anything you tried, you can be like, well, they said they do all this, so those are things that I may stay away from. So that's why I like doing those. Wander says, hi. From Canada, nice beard. I was just talking about Canadian whiskey and how I hated this one bottle, so my bad if you just showed up. I love hockey, though, but Panthers for the win this year. Again, you know what I mean? But welcome. Happy to have you. Welcome to the stream, baby. But when the Stanley Cup comes around again, I'm just saying, like, Florida Panthers, you know what I mean? You come see me. I'm kidding. I love messing with you, though. He's like, does he mean Jack 19 and double oak? Jack 19? You mean Jack 14? I don't have Jack 14. I wish I could find that too, but I'm not going to. Tuck said, I don't know where the Jack 19. I did hear they were doing another big one though. That's cool. I mean, but I just mean the 10. He's like, also, okay, call me old-fashioned, you're lost. Why? Where is this coming from, Tuck? Why do you want me to mix these? Trav says, going to the distillery tour next weekend for my birthday. Which one are you going to, Trav? Still Austin? And he's like, say hi to Eric for me. Shout out Eric. If Eric watches quietly, we still miss you, bud. Feel free to let us know you're watching. We won't tell anybody. We just want to say hi. Before says, I asked the son of the distillery they had anything aged 10 years. They did. They went through a 7-year-old barrel. They may have an 8-year ready in the summer. An 8-year in the summer would be good. I mean, I'm not saying I need anything super long aged, but those are just perks. All right, Tux. You want to do stupid shit? Let's do stupid shit. Let's figure it out. Tux, if this is not good, I'm going to hold you highly accountable. Highly accountable. This is how we do it. Dun, dun, dun. I need to cleanse my palate, get some energy in. Give me a second. This has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever done, right? Like, I'm all for making an old fashioned with some expensive whiskey, but mixing expensive whiskey like this is crazy. Chase in the chat says, cheers, everyone. What we sipping on? Chase, you came in at a weird time, bud. Like, we're getting weird in here. Tux wants me to do 1-in-1 of Jack 10 and Woodford's double oak. So that's what we're doing. Unfortunately. It was a little hard to get in there for some reason. Shay says, I'm here for it. Yeah, because we don't have anything you want me to pour up. Tuck says, I'm sipping Fireball. the good stuff. Tux, I need you to pour up something better if you're gonna have me pour my Woodford's double into something. Trav says Silver Spar Spirits. I guess they make a bunch of shit other than bourbon. Should be fun. Trav, one of the best things about distilleries that do actually make like their vodka, their gin, is they should have like a more citrus vodka, because that's usually a crowd pleaser, a barrel-aged gin, some bourbon, some whiskey, usually a rye whiskey, because those don't take as long to age. So, though, like Manifest Whiskey in Jacksonville was one of the best distillery experiences. They were smaller. They had a bunch of crowd pleasers. And it wasn't even like, I had maybe like one bourbon, right? I had a bunch of whiskey, but I only one like real bourbon. And that was just a sourced from, who was it? Seelbach. Sourced whatever they had. So probably MGP. So it was good. Just not what I was expecting. Tuck says, okay, I'll pour some Dragon Reserve. Yeah, let me know when that's poured out. But yeah, honestly, because of all the vodka and the gin stuff, the wife had a really good time. We brought the kid. He was still small enough to kind of fall asleep in the stroller. There's no way we can do that nowadays. But, I mean, it was a good time. One of the highlights of this year for me and her. So, like, from just a hangout standpoint, not like a drinking standpoint. Fort Worth, Texas. That's a weird nose. I'm gonna let it kind of like blend together for another minute, and then we'll give it a try. North Florida said plus. Plus what? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, drop a little like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already, of course. Tuck says you gotta add cherry Pepsi. Cherry Pepsi to what? To this? I don't have any cherry Pepsi. I don't have any soda. You didn't tell me that before I poured them together. I will say, it does, like, nose-wise, it feels like Jack Daniels has a really distinct nose with, like, the tobacco and the leather feel to it. Woodford's has this, like, the Woodford's Double more, in particular, has this, like, it doesn't have the taste of bubblegum, but it kind of reminds me of bubblegum on the nose. It's weird. El Diablo says, evening, found a plethora of Blantons on the shelf 2 hours ago. Thought to myself, hell yeah. Took it to the cashier. Beep. $159.99. Took it right back to the shelf. Should have known better. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's why they're still on the shelves, for real. I mean, 160 for Blanton's regular. Not was it like single barrel? Was it straight from the barrel? Was it or not single barrel? Straight from the barrel. Gold. Was it something special, or was it just like their basic offering, their single barrel lineup? Because that's crazy. 90 proof, 160. You should have dropped it, unless it made you pay for it. Yeah, it's kind of got, it honestly has the best of both worlds on the nose. It has the Jack Daniels kind of more manly notes and this weird kind of like candy bubblegum note that I get from Woodford's. pleasant nose, right? So just so anybody that is watching that's catching up, like, what are we doing here? What's the deal? This is not my idea. We have a subscriber in the chat, Tuxedo Cat, that did want us to try to blend this as like a 1-in-1. He wanted Jack 10, Woodford's double oak. He said, hey, pour it up, 1-in-1, try it. He says he's undefeated, never lost in blends. So we're trying it out. Single barrel or single basic offering, tell them to go fuck themselves. That's crazy. 160, that's like $100 over MSRP. All right, cheers. Let's try it up. Let's 2 sips. 2 sips. Everybody knows the rules. All right. Just to give you my thoughts. No. Don't do that. And the reason being, it's not a bad pour per se. Like, it's not bad. But both of these are so good individually. Like, this has its own, like, manly vibes, tobacco, leather, some sweetness to it too, right? But it's lower proof. It's like 97 proof, right? And it kind of has its own little vibe, right? Woodford's is completely opposite too. It does have its own vibe over here. It's 90.4 proof, just like all Woodford's. But it's double oak, sweetness, chocolate. You know, it has some of its own little uniqueness to it. When you blend them together, they're almost like fighting each other. Maybe it would need longer to blend, and we obviously don't have that kind of time. They're like trying to fight against each other. They're like, are we a sweet pour? Are we a manly pour? They're not like saying, you know what, let's be a sweet manly pour. Let's be like jean jacket, but like cut the sleeves off. They're not getting there. You know what I mean? It's stuck in this in-between phase. Not that it's bad. Like, it smells good, it tastes good, but it's not like enough. I'd much prefer either one of those pours individually. Yeah, it's good. It's just, I'd rather have them individually. That would be my final verdict. Good. Not a bad. Like, if you want to experiment, by all means, try it up. But I feel like it's kind of a waste of each bottle, just because it doesn't send it over. Like combining really 2 good bourbons or really good whiskeys. Like, you feel like, hey, it should make an ultimate whiskey. You know what I mean? Like, it should be better. And in theory, good idea. Outcome wise, it's just not. It doesn't make it better. It just kind of weakens both of them. Sorry, Tux. Since you already mixed them, add some Havana to it. God damn, bro. What you want me to do? You want me to just spice it all up? But we'll do that. El Diablo says, yes, exactly. My local Walmart has been selling it at $59.99. They have it. Oh, gotcha. They have it. Walmart does. Walmart did just get a drop over by us, too. Ryan says, hey, Ryan, welcome to stream, baby. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Hopefully you had a good work week, and hopefully you're having a good pour and you're ready to kind of turn it up on this Friday. We're doing weird stuff, Ryan, so, like, sorry you're, like, popping in at a weird time, but, like, we're mixing every apparently expensive bottle I have into one pour because Tux is trying to, like, save face. It's not on camera. He wanted me to mix 1 part Jack Daniel's 10, 1 part Woodford's double oak. And as much as the pour is good, it's not better than the pours individually. So now I'm pouring a little bit of Havana in there too to see what that does. Not my request. Again, that's Tux. I'm blaming it all on Tux at this point. What a weird combo. Those don't look like they match. Let me get some water. North Floor says, pour the blue note. Oh, yeah, you have the cast strength. It's a delicious, complex. Not sure worth the price, but maybe worth picking up once a year if you see it. Those cast strengths are super hard to come by the way. I didn't realize like how hard they actually were to get that you got. You just kind of got in a weird lucky. Ooh, I found it. I did hear that those bottles were more of a, because it's harder to get, it's more money for less value, but I also heard they're really good. So I don't think you'd be mad at picking up. I just think it is going to be, you're going to feel the sting of it. Ryan says, no pour tonight. Working on building an app. I did get my hands on some drum shambo. Okay. Ryan comes in all sophisticated and goes, you know what? I'm building an app tonight, boys. I was building an app too, just an appetite for my food once I got done drinking. Tuck says, I assume full responsibility for this pour. Ryan says, so you're basically doing a small scale infinity bottle. I am. I do have my own infinity bottle that actually is really good. But if you guys have ever seen that short that I did where I blended the Penelope Architect and the Redwood Empire Grizzly Beast, that was a month, bro. That was money. If you have those two bottles, I highly recommend blending one pour. But he, you know, I kind of take recommendations like that sometimes. You know, I'm not mad at it. Like, all whiskey is meant to be drank. It's just how you drink it. It's a different, more unique way. Adding in the Havana, though, feels like a last-ditch effort to try and save face, so I'm going to bust Tuxedo's balls anyway. But yeah, basically small infinity bottle. Before says, you ain't lying. They had to explain to me what it was, so I grabbed it. Just been an expensive couple weeks. You're not lying, bud. I feel like every time I leave the house, I spend a couple $100. When it comes to whiskey, I don't know if anybody knows this. So, has anybody ever used unicorn auctions? It's basically where you auction. There's like an auction of whiskey. You kind of bid on it, place your max bid, stuff like that. Kind of like eBay, but for whiskey, but a little bit more intense. So right now I'm bidding on three things. I'm bidding on the Penelope Old Fashioned Cocktail Mix, the peach one. It's like a pre-mix, right? I'm winning that one. I'm betting on the Woodford's Distillery Series Chocolate Whisper Redux, the 2025 edition. I don't think I'm going to win any of these, by the way. And then the Woodford's Distillery Series Sherry Cask Blended Malt Whiskey. I may win that one, but it's crazy how much things are going for on there and how much people outbid you. El Diablo says, wait, did you find the Penelope double cask yet? The double cask? If this, yeah, I mean, this is a double cask. This is the Havana, finished in maple and rum barrels. It's good. It's pretty good. He's like, you said you were looking for Penelope double something at one point. I was looking for this. I also did pre-order the Penelope Cigar blend, so that should be coming early summer, is what they said. So, Tux says, oh wait, we ain't done yet. Tux, I'm just gonna let you know, if this ain't good right here, we ain't doubling down on shit, because you ain't adding in my Russell's 15 or my 13th double colony, or double oak, 13th colony double oak into this. Hell no. We ain't gonna try and fix it with magic. Well, that's unique. That's unique enough that I'd be like, hey, that's a weird kind of good pour. The Penelope is kind of like leveling up the sweetness, which more intensified the Woodford's like bubblegum note, but at the same time, hold on. Yeah, I'd say that bubblegum note that was on the Woodford's kind of just got elevated. And the sweetness level kind of killed a little bit of the Jack Daniels, because Jack Daniels is more kind of manly-ish, in my opinion. Jonathan Long says, what Woodford What Woodford it? I'm having a stroke reading it. What Woodford's is that? This is Woodford's double oak. by the way. North Florida says, a clerk at the Bourbon Barn is cousins with the owner. He works at the gas station right by my house for years, so we got to know each other. Now he's there and looks out for me. It's the best kind of stuff. And North Florida, so just kind of use that as an example. That's what we mean by when we say build relationships. You know, have fun, talk to the clerks. They're not just nobodies. You know, get to know them a little bit. I'm not saying tell them your whole life story, but when you're talking about building relationships at liquor stores, when they don't do points and they don't do stuff like that, you need a little heads up saying, hey, we got some good stuff. Come swing by today. That's all you need is a couple hour head start, and that's the difference between getting some really good bottles and getting nothing. So that's a good example. Now, North Florida's example, he worked at another place where you got to know him too, but get to know your liquor store owners, get to know the liquor store workers. One day they may help you out. Doug says, I'm a goddamn genius. I'm not going to say genius. This feels like a really expensive pour for just like, okay. Like, it's good. It did elevate the Woodford's kind of weird. Not on the oak side, but like on the sweetness side, which is like that bubblegum note. But it almost makes the Jack Daniels feel kind of obsolete in it, so. Ryan says, have you made any whiskey whipped creams? They go great with apple and pecan pie and vanilla ice cream. I have not. I don't know how to make whipped cream in general, so I don't know how to make whiskey whipped cream, but that sounds like a good time. El Diablo says, local clerk showed me a bottle of Penelope Real. Have you tried that one? No, I have not. I haven't found it yet either. I saw a couple stores around here may have it, but I haven't like went to go search it. The Havana's good, but it doesn't like completely blow my mind. Not that it's not good. Like, I definitely say, like, if you feel like maple is your vibe, like, definitely go find it. Penelope Rio is just another $100 bottle of whiskey that's under 100 proof that I'm like, if I find it, great. I'd love to have one, but I'm not going to, like, go to 17 stores to find one. Jay says, mix some rare breed rye in it. In this? No, hell no. That's not even, like, the same, you know, ballpark. Omar says, nice flannel. Is that, I don't even know how to pronounce that. No, this is Amazon. Amazon. It's just a normal flannel. That was like $15. KB V says, I'm grabbing a bottle of 1920 soon. Good question as well for you. Have you tried Pikesville Rye? I've not had Pikesville's Rye. I do love 1920 though. One of my favorite Old Foresters, right behind 1924. I'll take 1920 over even 1910. Ted Kennedy says, have you tried Frey Ranch? No. I want to. I keep skipping over it, and then everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? Part of me goes like, I spent a lot of money on whiskey. I really want to just have the Frey Ranch farm strength rye and bourbon at the same time. I've never found them at the same time. That's why I haven't really pulled the trigger. So I should, though. I know that. That's on me. Soon. For sure soon. Tux says, okay, time to mix in a little grain to glass. Or what are we doing, Tux? Grain to glass? Chase said mix in some rare breed rye. So what's the wrong with rare breed rye over the grain to glass? You trying to pick out all my most expensive whiskey, or what are we doing? Brian says, you need a whipped cream canister, some CO2 cartridges, heavy whipping cream, sugar, whiskey, and a flavor of your choice. Maple syrup, vanilla, etc. Pour everything into the can, charge it, and shake. Okay, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan. Let me show you how we get down. All right, let me show you. I got it right here. It's actually fucking empty. This is called Whip Shots, vodka-infused whipped cream. This is what the wife buys when we ever make like White Russian stuff like that. It's like a vodka infused thing. We don't have like whipped cream canisters and make it at home. You make it sound so simple though. So not that it's impossible. I kind of want to now just for fun. But no, I have not. Chase says Pikesville rye is great rye. Well, fucking shit me. All right. I need to keep an eye out for it. KB says, oh, hot take. That slick comment on the taking the 1920 over 1924 and 1910. Fully agree, dude. Well, hold on. KB. Okay, well, let me back up. I said I'll take the 1920 over the 1910, not the 1924. The 1924, that one's money. Now, granted, like if we were taking price into consideration, 1920 over all of it, all day, every day. 1924 is my favorite Old Foresters in general for flavor-wise because it just fits right with me. But 1920's got the proof, it's got the price, and overall like findability, it's money. I also really enjoy the banana note on it. Like that's one of the main things I found on it. I'm like, I really like that. Fucking shit, I may take actually 1920 over 1924, but not normally. Not normally. Tuck says, I don't even know what that says. I think he's trying to say trust me, but El Diablo says, okay, tomorrow I'll pull the trigger on that reel. I think it was $89.99. I think that's MSRP, so that should be a good price. If it's still there, then just get it. You know what I mean? Just fuck it. Just pull the trigger. Ryan says, I've had that stuff before. It's pretty good for what it is. Chase says, very slight minty in the background, but a lot of sweetness throughout. A bourbon drinker's rye at a great price point. Are we saying Pikesville's rye has a minty note to it? Now you're talking my language, boys. I do. So there's a few notes that I really enjoy in whiskey. First, excuse me. First is always going to be that chocolate note. Just something about it is what I like. Mint is another note that I really enjoy. It's also fairly easy to pick up. I get that on the Green River Full Proof. Same thing with chocolate. That's why it's one of my go-tos when I'm just hanging out. I get thin mint vibes from it. So yeah. KB says, okay, thank you for reading that back to me. I found a powdered marshmallow when I have a glass. Okay. Tuck says Rio is like sugary cereal to me. Okay, but which sugary cereal? Like Captain Crunch? Are we thinking Reese's Puff? Are we thinking like Honey Nut Chex? All right, Tux. I guess we're gonna carry this thing to the end, aren't we, huh? I don't know where my granny glass here. Tux, hopefully you know my granny glass is just a rye. So we're gonna mix a little bit of the Jack 10, a little bit of Woodford's Double Double, a little Havana. Now we're just gonna do a splash of the granny glass rye. We're just out here making weird ass infinity glass. I feel like this is also like the dumbest thing we've done in a long time. Some kind of Cheerios. Cheerios? Cheerio. I do quite like Cheerios. Tuck says we got to even out a tad from the sweetness. I mean, I agree on that. It was getting a little too syrupy, a little too sweet. So the rye should calm it down a little bit, but I'm not saying it's not too much either. My kid's crying again. Norfolk says, to infinity and beyond. Buzz would be proud of that glass. I mean, touche. Let's see where it ends up. I can only imagine what he's going to have me put in next. I'm really not going to put Russell's or the 13th in here, by the way. So don't even bring it up. It's not going in. I look like I'm tired as hell. Now that has a hell of a nose. That's got like the spice of the rye, the sweetness, like a little maple from the Penelope, but I still get that bubblegum note from that Woodford's. At this point, the Jack Daniel's is non-existent. So now I will say, Heaven Hill has 123.2 proof. So that one is gonna spice it back up. KBV said it's a late night pour. Okay, I see you. Well, I mean, I'm all for having a late night pour, but I'm also not for like, let's just dump whiskey in till it gets good. I mean, I'm kind of down for whatever, I guess. Ryan says New Riff next. We're just going to combine the small pour into something completely different. So where am I at with it? There's not a lot left, by the way. Taste-wise, it kind of got a little bitter. I like the proof because that's coming from that rye. It almost feels like it's all Penelope, all Heaven Hill, grain to glass. I feel like the other two's kind of phased out of it at this point. There might be a slight note from the Woodfords, but not much. That might just be in the glass. The Jack is gone. What could be fun is if, because honestly, like I feel like maybe I didn't pour enough of each, because now I'm down to like sip. You know what I mean? I could finish this in a conversation. Boom. Maybe we finish off and we have somebody else start another mystery blend. RMZ says, I've just been sitting back, drinking, listening like, what the fuck? But I'm here for it. RMZ, I'm here going like, what the fuck? I've just been like taking orders at this point. You know, I'm just here for the people. But at the same time, I'm like, who mixes Woodford's Double Double with Jack 10? All right, we're there. It's not bad, but it feels like a waste. Then we added Penelope, which did elevate it a little bit. It brought the sweetness level out because that maple kind of came in and just carried a little bit. But became a little too sweet. Then you brought in the Heaven Hill Granite Glass Rye, which brought back up the proof, spiced it up, but then kind of just muted everything else, except for the maple. So, weird vibes. Weird vibes. So, let's do this. I'm going to let you guys fire off ideas. Just make it one comment. Don't like spam the comments. Give me 3 bottles that you know is on my shelf that you want me to combine. You can say like this plus this, then add this. And then let's kind of like have some fun with it. Tux has already started. He's like, before someone else starts a chain, you got to rate my chain at its best point. Then see if the next chain's best point beats this one. I agree, Tux. I'll say your best point, really, it was when you added Penelope in. The Jack 10 and the Woodfords was good together, but it was not better than individual bottles, so I feel like that was kind of a waste. Penelope came in and elevated it. It was sweet. If I had to rate it, we're probably talking about like a 6.3, right? It's good middle ground. It's better, right? It's a cool blend, but it's not enough for me to be like, whoa, holy shit. Like, it was good. The rye, as much as I love the effort, I may have messed that up because there was not enough of everything else to blend it in. So now this pour is almost all rye and Penelope. So, where do we find your bar stock? In the Discord, you can see most of my bar, or or use your eyeballs. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, like, but I am going to use the restroom real quick because we're 2.5 hours in and I have to use the little YouTuber's room. So I'll be back in just a second. So you guys fire off comments. I'll pick out the best one here in a second. Just pick 3 bottles. 2 you want me to blend first, then a third one you want me to add in. I was just curious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all 21 and plus, we are back. All right, let me check the comments. North Florida says, try combining the Finnish whiskeys like Amarana, maple, etc. I mean, I could do like maple and honey and maybe like, I don't think I have any Amarana finish. Maybe like a double oak of some kind. But you got to let me know which bottles exactly. That kind of makes it easier. Tuck says 13th Colony Double Oak, Russell Reserve 15, and another to be discussed. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Bourbon Daddy. Bro, Bourbon Daddy pops in now. Add Redwood Empire Rocket Top plus Grizzly Beast, then add 13th. Bro, I love where you're head with it. Rocket Top plus Grizzly Beast would be a fun. But I'm not adding 13th Colony in it third. Doug says, dude, 13th Colony Double Oak, Russell's Reserve 15, Woodford's Double Double, and Jack 10. Bro, Tux. Guys are like, hey, can you please waste your most expensive bottles? Norfolk says, we just waste $250 of the best rated whiskey from last year. Bro, facts. RMZ says, North Florida, agree. Blue Note is one of my favorites. Love the store picks. I'm here for whatever you know when you'll find the right combo. Ryan, okay, here we go. Here, damn it. It says New Riff Bourbon, Blanton's, and Redemption Rye. Ryan, yours is the closest right now. I don't have Redemption Rye, but I'll pick New Riff Bourbon and Blanton's just pick a different rye, and we'll do that. Unless there's something else better in here I don't see. Juan in the chat says, what's up, fellas? Juan, welcome to the stream, baby. Happy Friday. Drop a little like for the boys. If you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, people. KBV says, I second that Redemption Rye. Should I be picking up Redemption Rye? Like, what are we doing? North Florida says, 119 tastes like 80 proof. Okay. Got any staved whiskeys? Shit, I don't know. I got a lot of whiskey in here. I do have a lot of whiskey in here. What's funny is like a lot of people come in here and I feel like I have a lot. Like I have over 120, 140 bottles somewhere in that window. But I never have what somebody says, just so you know. So let's do this. I'm going to stick with Ryan's for now. I feel like he's the closest. He's like, North Florida said, I vote with Ryan though. Rocket Top in here for the rye. I mean, I'm down for that. So we'll focus on what Ryan's talking about here. Ryan, do you want to do 8-year bourbon or single barrel bourbon? And I'll pull them both over so you can see it here in a second. I have the 8-year, which is just 100 proof. Then I have a single barrel, which is 110.6 proof. So we can do either one of those. He says, let's do Bullet. I do have Bullet 12-year. I can do Bullet. All right, so we need to do new. We got Blanton's. So let's pull that over. He wants to do 8-year. 8-year is a good choice. I like the single barrel, but I feel like 8-year is going to bring a little bit different because this is going to be the highest age statement in that. And he said Bullet. The Bullet's actually going to be the highest age statement. KBV says, I'm going to have to go through your bar stock, still new. KBV, make sure you subscribe. If you're not in the Discord, I try to keep it updated, but I buy bottles every fucking day, it feels like. That's not like a flex. I just can't ever keep it updated. If you're not in the Discord, I try to drop my entire stuff in the Discord. Discord's also like one of the first people to see what I pick up. It's also the first people I notify of when something's dropping in Florida or when I hear it somewhere else, but I mainly focus on Florida for now. I am putting together my own little infinity pour over here. North Florida says, I made the wife a couple Bullet and Cokes tonight. She usually drinks Jack. Shirley likes the Bullet and Coke. So, North Florida, what I find is crazy is Bullet is really good. The Bullet Premix Old Fashioned is one of my favorite Premix Old Fashions for the price. It's decent, flavorful. The only one that's better is going to be the Buffalo Trace Premix, which is made with their, I don't remember what it's made with. It's their own. It's called the Handy and Sheller or whatever you call it. That's it's just good, but it's kind of pricey for the bottle. So, all right, let's go ahead and start this off with. We're gonna add in Blanton's and 8-year. Try that. Then we're gonna add in the Bullet 12-year. So, let me scoot this over a little bit. Pour. There's my Blanton's. Put a cork on this. Oh no, I just got below the label. Oh my God, my other camera died. Hold on, let me fix her up, boys. Let me fix her up. The other camera's dying too. Oh my God. And we'll swap both batteries at the same time. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. All right, now we're back in business. But yeah, Let's see. Ryan says, Bullet is my go-to whiskey when I'm not at a whiskey-focused bar. I will say, Bullet is one of those ones where, like, when I'm at a restaurant and I'm usually like, hey, do you guys have this? Right? I'll just name off some random whiskey I'm thinking that day. And they say no. I go, okay, what do you have? They usually go Elijah Craig, Angel's Envy, Bullet. And then if they do have anything extra, it's usually Buffalo Trace. And most of the time I'll go Buffalo Trace. But if they don't, I'm going Bullet. So, just because Bullet's pretty good. Just a crowd pleaser for the price, you know. All right, let's add in the New Riff 8-year. All right, let's see. There we go. I will say, this 8-year is a lot a bit darker than that Blanton's. All right, let's scoot this over. Right now, this is what's in here, the Blanton's and the New Riff 8-year. Give it a little mixy mix. We'll try this, and then we'll add in the Bullet 12-year. North Florida says, I finished her off with the Four Roses OB, SF, and Coke. That was her favorite. Hell yeah. Christian says, Eagle Rare, Sazerac Rye, and then EH. I don't have the Sazerac Rye, but I do have Eagle Rare and EH Taylor. But to do that, I'd have to crack open the Eagle Rare. So take that in consideration. Brian says that uncork sounded gorgeous. That New Riff uncorking is money. That's a money bottle right there. Most people don't even know. If Tux is still watching, I'll have him drop the Discord link for anybody that wants to join. So that way you guys can join in there and you can kind of look through. Everybody kind of posts their own like collection of what they have going on in there. So you feel free to join in, right? Post the Discord or join the Discord and then kind of post your own collections. You know, I try to comment when I can. I'm usually kind of busy, but let me get a little sip of water before we take a sip of this. Proof-wise, we got a 100 proof New Riff and what, 93? Yeah, 93 proof Blanton, so probably somewhere in the middle. Probably looking at like 97 proof. Somewhere in that ballpark, which isn't a bad proof point. Let's give her a little try. On the nose, that blends well. I was going to say at first I got the sweetness of the Buffalo Trace, but I definitely get more New Riff on there. The ethanol from the New Riff, definitely. That 8-year New Riff on the nose usually has a little bit more ethanol than typical. It doesn't drink like that, but it usually does. KBV says, I'm still looking for higher proof, 100 plus, with any kind of marshmallow note to it. Anybody? Lucky 7 Holiday Toast, single barrel. Mine is 119 proof. This one feels like campfires, like breaking out s'mores. Doesn't have like the chocolate note that I'm used to, but it has everything else. So it's good. It's more of a holiday thing, but it is good. Where is Izzy tonight? For real, for real? I don't know. Maybe he's busy. All right, let's give it a little taste test, see what we're working with Ryan's first 2 combos. KBB says, thank you. You're welcome. It's not the best marshmallow, though. Like you can get like the Penelope toasted marshmallow toast, probably be better, but I haven't had that. So I can only speak on what I got. But the Lucky 7 holiday toast is, I mean, at worst case, it's a fucking money bottle. That's all I drink during December. Not all, but close enough. That's a good blend. It kind of feels more like New Riff though. That blended really well. Like you get like the sweetness of Buffalo Trace. New Riff is already kind of a little bit sweetness too, but it feels more like Buffalo Trace sweetness with like an age feeling, like a little couple notes in there that feel like aged New Riff. So far that's money. But I also got to say, like, to blend that together, that's kind of crazy. Blanton's an 8-year New Riff. Probably not worth it, like, price-wise. But if you just got bottles you're trying to just have some fun with, it's a cool little pour to do. But let's add in a little bit of this Bullet 12-year age rye. This is a 95.5 mash bill, by the way. 12-year age. Probably was like one of my favorite ryes for a while. But after a while, it does feel just like a $50 bottle compared to, like, I had some expensive ryes. There we go. I just realized this is a real cork, so let's get a little moist. What do we rate Tux? Like a 6.1, 6.2. So we got to rate this against Tux. Not that Tux didn't give it a good shot, but so far I feel like these two blend better. Even though like these two are like less, and that may just be because like these two are slightly cheaper than the other two. So maybe that's what's kind of swaying my decision. Oh, okay. So let me paint you a little picture, right? You got the Blanton sweetness. You got the age of the New Riff 8-year. They both got a good sweetness level that blends decently. Then you add in this like, Bullet to me is a bourbon friendly rye, right? It's all rye, but it has like a decent like spice level to it to like kind of blend with, right? So on the nose, it's all like it almost feels like a rye version of Blanton's, right? That's kind of how I can describe it. Okay. I like that. And then I don't. So let me process it real quick and then I can describe it. What's the proof? 90. I think that might have been the issue. So like it had a really good proof level. Like we're dancing between 90 and 100, right? When you add in another 90, it kind of brings it back more down towards a 90 proofer, right? And it had like a floral and a rye note and a sweetness, but it just didn't feel right. So if you ever were trying to make like a burr rye, right? Like a little bourbon rye, then this is money. But it's like it drinks like it's like 85 proof with that Bullet in there. I like the sweetness. It's all like Buffalo Trace sweetness. Still has a little bit of New Riff pizzazz in it, but that Bullet rye definitely takes over quite a bit. And because it's lower proof, right? It's like 90. It brings the overall proof level down, which I felt like what was really good in that first phase of it. I like, if you want to compare this to Tux's, like Tux was like a 6.1, 6.2. I'll give this like a 6.3. Like, it's still better overall, just because it has a little bit more complexity to it. That could have been the way I poured it. It could have been whatever. It has like a floral note on it. It has the rye note on it, but it still has a Buffalo Trace sweetness. The only downside is I feel like probably the more complex bottle, which is the 8-year New Riff, kind of gets a little phased out. It's not bad by any means, but overall, 6.3. Christian says, I'm calling it a night. Cheers, Christian. Appreciate it as always for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next time. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the other side, bud. KBB says, is the finish harsh at the end or left wanting? Left wanting. Left wanting. It's not harsh. Like, if anything, like, because the proof dropped, it almost killed the finish. And that's a good way to kind of look at it. It's like, I wish there was a longer finish. If there was a longer finish, it maybe gave it a little something. But it's just kind of left me wanting a little bit more. Unless you're talking to, like, them about the marshmallow toast. Ryan says, someone's got to use that hibiki in something. I love the hibiki. I don't think it would blend well. It's like 86 proof. It's really light, really floral, little honey note, citrus notes. So it'd be kind of hard to blend that and make it make sense. I feel like if you were going to blend the hibiki, it would have to be with all ryes. It would be hibiki and rye, and maybe higher proof ryes. Like hibiki, grain to glass, and rocket top might be a good blend. But I almost feel like I'm like covering up the hibiki. So who knows? North Florida says, foggy memory. KBV says, wow, only 6.3. Okay, that's fair. I found Rise always wants to take the stage through most of the palate. I'm trying to just be fair, because I mean, I could do this all day, and I want to kind of, I'll say it was better than the last one, even though the last one had heavy hitter bottles. This one's definitely better. I think that first two stage, the first 1 and 2, paired really well together. And I just think this part of it kind of brought it back down. Not that like intentional by any means. I don't think he did that, but I just think the bottle overall just didn't carry it enough, and that's okay, right? That's kind of what we're doing. We're just kind of having fun anyway. It's not like we're like nobody's creating a bottle off this, but it was a cool mix-up. So, yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, well, let's do one more. I'm not opposed to doing one more. So if you guys want to fire off, 2 bottles blend together, 1 to add in over top. Completely up to you. Let's stay away from the Russells and the 13th Colony though. Those are like crazy enough, like, bro, some of my favorite pours. I really don't want to blend those because that's just a waste. He's like, perhaps oxidized. You know, I've had the Bullet for a while. It's a possibility. I don't think so though, but not unheard of. I'd say it still tasted good. It just felt because like 290 proofers and 100 proof brought it back down to 90 proof, where the previous rye kind of added on top of it as a higher proof, and it spiced it back up. I think maybe that's where that kind of came from. So Ryan says, let's leave rose hip flavored pipe tobacco in hibiki for a month or until something interesting happens. Ryan, who's that guy? Who's that YouTuber that says that? I don't know. I mean, I could, but like, damn, I'd have to waste the rest of my Hibiki to do that. Hibiki's expensive. But I like where your head's at. Because what's funny enough is I bought this. Where the fuck is it? I bought this thing. Not from that guy, just from ads in general. This bottle, right? Where you can untwist, add stuff in, whiskey, and then pour out, you know? So I can't remember his name. I know he comes up on my, like, suggested all the time. Interesting, but he's like hardcore about it, where I'm like just chilling and drinking. I'd love to have a drink with that guy though, just to see what he's like. I'm gonna message him one day and I'm like, hey, you want to come on stream? Let's just chitty chat. I feel like he'd be a good conversation piece, right? I feel like he'd have a good conversation with me. North Florida says, I would like to see you blend 3 bottles under 50 bucks that creates something that is worth 70 to 80 bucks. Let's not get crazy here. So, Isaiah says, hey, I'm here. Isaiah, they were looking for you, bud. They were like, where the fuck is he at? And I was like, I don't know. So if you want me to blend something, I'm going to pick like 3 budget bottles and we're going to get weird. So let's do this. Last chance. Because I'm all for it. Oh, I think North Florida just came out with a little banger. Still awesome cast strength. New Riff single barrel and Redwood rocket top. Bro, you picking out some of my favorites. I want to go with his. Had dinner meeting. Well, Isaiah, look at you being professional. I'm just busting your balls. Good. Hopefully the meeting went well. All right, let's do North Florida's because his had a little bit pizzazz, and then let's try to figure out like what the price would be as well, because he picked out some of my favorites. What was the third one? He said New Riff single barrel, which I got a little bit left of. Still Austin. What a combo on the brands though, right? These are like some of my favorite brands too. Chase says JD Rye and Woodford's Double Oak. You got to pick 3 though, Chase. You need either 2 bourbons or 2 ryes and 1 bourbon or 1 rye, right? Just 3 combo in general. Ryan says, Tuxedo Cat, my favorite short he did was the completely unexpected reference to one guy, one jar. It's funny though. North Florida. North Florida says, still Austin. Oh, wait. Still Austin, New Riff, 950, but nobody's counting. It depends on where you're shopping, though. We're all talking about in the $50 price range. Oh, wait. New Riff, single barrel. It's like 55-ish bucks. Still Austin, cash strength, around 55-ish bucks. Redwood Empire is like 80 bucks, if not 90 bucks at most places. So I agree with that. Amo says, sup, boys? Sup? Welcome to the stream, baby. Drop a little like, subscribe if you haven't already. I know you're subscribed, but welcome to the stream. All right, anybody, or anyways, by the way, boys, if you guys are in the Jacksonville area, who's going to beer, bourbon, and barbecue tomorrow? I think I'm gonna slide through. I'm just trying to get a head count of like who's gonna show up, who's not. I'm not saying you have to by any means. It's not like a giant meetup, but I may swing by, make a quick little video, drink some bourbon, eat some barbecue, maybe have a beer, whatever, get crazy. So just seeing who's going. All right, let's do this. Take my little handy dandy Glen here. Let's add in some. Ooh, shit. That was a weird pull on the cork. Add them in. Let's see. There we go. A little New Riff. Or I'm sorry, a little Still Austin. So you definitely need to get Resurgence and Redemption Rye on hand. Noted. I'll definitely take that into consideration next time we go grocery shopping. Shay says, JD Rye, Woodford's Double Oak, and SA Rye. What's SA Rye? Sagamore? Still Austin Rye? You got to explain the rye for me real quick on that last one. So, thanks, man. I'm late sipping. Penelope 4 grain. Ooh, a little white label. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, drink what you like. I haven't had that one yet, but KBV says, haven't tried anything Redwood Empire, but I heard all right things. What do you think? What do you love about it? Everything. KBV. Jesus Christ, bro. What a way to get me on a tangent. I love Redwood Empire. I just feel like it's different. You know what I mean? Like, I just like things that are unique in its own way. I like things that stand out. And Redwood Empire, each bottle in particular, is just its own little, like, own little story. You know? I don't know. I just like that it's not the same old from Kentucky. I love Kentucky whiskey, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I love Kentucky whiskey. But I also like things that stand out. I like things that are different. And typically what I've come to find is like New Riff, technically it's in Kentucky, but it's really in Ohio. Still Austin, Texas. New Riff out of California. St. Augustine out of Florida. You know what I mean? There's so many other brands out there, and people can say what they want, but like a lot of these brands are pumping out some good stuff. You know, 13th Colony out of Georgia. You know, I just, in my opinion, I just don't think Kentucky is the end-all be-all for bourbon and whiskey anymore. They still hold like a lot of awards, and they're still, you know, up there. But I just think all the other states are pushing in on that territory, and they feel that weight now, in my opinion. But whatevs. Dorfo says that we can make it out there to the Jacks with a 5-month and a 2-year-old, but you never know. North Florida, I didn't invite them. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Hey, if you make it out, great. Just let me know. If not, you know, I think I'm gonna go. I think for the channel, it would be really good for you guys to see what it's like. Also, because there's a lot of controversy around that festival. Like, there's some good, there's some bad. I think me going out there as like a in-betweener, I've seen the bad reviews. I've heard the great things though. So if I can give you guys a realistic idea of like, is it worth it? Because it's kind of pricey. It's like $50 to go. And then you got to get in there. I'm sure you're going to pay more money. So I could be the guinea pig, and I'm okay with that. I more or less just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. I may go. I may not, though. If I don't go, I'm going to go live. If I do go, I'm not going to go live because I'm probably going to get fucking day drunk. And then we're going to go live there. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Kind of. 30 minutes before the 2-year-old gets wild could work. Hey, I'm here for it. I'll watch the kids. You go. Agree with Ryan with the Pikesville. You need to hunt that one down. Coming from Heaven Hill Distillery, it's a nod to the story of original rye from Maryland. Good fresh mint, fresh on the palate. Okay. Chase says, SA still Austin. Rare breed rye is slept on it, and I enjoy it. I love rare breed rye. But you're saying, so Jack Daniel's rye, Woodford's Double Oak, and still Austin rye? That might be a good combo. If we're still alive after this one, we'll definitely do that. Trying to find Garrison Brothers or Larceny. Go with Larceny. I don't like Garrison Brothers, but to each his own. All right, let's try this one up. Did I pour both? I can't even remember. Yeah, I did. That's a good combo. Spicy, though. Spicy. 110.6 proof plus 116 proof. See, that's enough bourbon to carry something through to the final. Who made this combo? I can't even remember. North Florida did. This is gonna be the combo that wins for sure. Like, I'm not even questioning it. Like, the blend of these two, so far so good. But I feel like they complement each other well as they compete for the win. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense how I described that? I feel like they complement each other pretty well. I think the Still Austin stands out a little bit more, only because like that rapid aged in 2 years. I feel like that's playing a factor. Northwest says sipping from the Fish Hawk Yeti Rocks Cup. Okay, what's up? All right, let's add in this New Rift, or I'm sorry, the Redwood Empire. All right, just to recap, we had Tuxedo pick Woodford's Double Double, Jack 10, and the Penelope Havana. Then add in the Heaven Hill Grain Glass Rye. We gave it a 6.2. And it was good. It just, partly my fault from the way it was poured, partly his fault from picking the order. It was good. It just didn't last the way, it didn't hold up to the value of what was in the glass, let's say. You know what I mean? The Jack kind of got a non-factor. The Woodford's was like a faint bubblegum note, and it became Havana and Rye, you know, which wasn't bad. It's just, when you got those heavy hitters in there, it should stand out. So let's try this one. Still Austin and New Riff to combine. Great proof point. You're talking above 110. You're going to add in a Bottle and Bond Rye from Redwood Empire. Nose on the palate, or no, on the nose. It's got a great nose. It's got a lot of ethanol though. Oh, yeah. That's it. That's got like that minty, earthy spice note from that Redwood Empire, but then also comes through on like that mid palate where it coats your mouth as well, from that like Still Austin, kind of like rapid aged in 2 years from that Texas heat. But then that finish still feels like New Riff single barrel. The finish, like kind of nice warm little hug, kind of going down your throat. That's where that's from. That pairs perfectly. So North Florida picked it on the head. Now, granted, let me phrase this with, these are my 3 favorite brands, new brands coming out. And he also picked higher proof bottles. Not that I'm a proof whore or I picked these brands in particular, but I think he just picked 3 really great bottles. It just happened to pair together well. 7.8. I know. 7.8. We're dropping it on them. We went 6.2 with Tuxedo. We went 6.3 with Ryan's. 7.8. I know. I'm just saying. I don't make the rules. I just tell you the number. Can't help you from there. So that's a great fucking pour. I honestly, what I'd love nothing more if I had no money as a factor. I'd buy all 3 bottles again. I'd blend them into one giant bottle, and I would make that bottle. That's a great bottle. Now there's one more in here that we're gonna make, and then I may need to end it. But let me check out the chat. Northwest says, for me, Still Austin and New Riff had special notes that didn't get anywhere else. Add some rye. I figured there's like car alarms going off like crazy. Somebody breaks in my car. I told you. Somebody's going to end up. So add some rye, and I figured you would have some complexity. You did. Yeah, nailed it on the head. The New Riff and the Still Austin combined, especially the single barrel and the cask strength, the proofs blended well, right? It just kind of mashed. The rye, I felt like it gave it a little bit of spice. It changed up the drink completely. But because you're still in that 100 proof range, you're above 100 proof regardless, instead of mixing in 290 proofers. No shot to the last one. I'm just saying, like, that's why I think it held its, to me, like when you blend, you need to blend with higher proof stuff because it's automatically going to drop. So it's got to have enough to hold its own up here before it drops way down here. You know what I mean? So KBV says, I would have to say they are pretty hot, higher proof whiskeys that is labeled by batch numbers on each bottle. Most people try to grab different bottles for different notes, understandably. I understand where the weird, complex whiskey nerd part comes in, but to each his own. Norfolk says, Redwood Empire Pipe Dream has been such a great buy for the price, especially. I just know that the ryes are going to be bangers. I have my eyes on the Rocket Top as a good pour for 70 one day. I have some cash. Yeah, North Florida, if you love the Pipe Dream, this one. I know I got to get another one. My bottle's running low, and I really want batch 4 again. Not that the batch 5, when it comes out, won't be great, but batch 4 has been money. So, Ryan says, damn. Hey, Ryan, I'm not knocking you, bud. You got a great beard. But I need you to come with better combos then. Your combo was great. Like, it wasn't bad. This one just, it's almost like he like handpicked it for me. You know what I mean? He kind of used the cheat code. Ooh, Isaiah says 85% Penelope Architect, 15% foolproof. I like how Isaiah said percentages and was like, I'm dialing you in perfectly. We're going to have to do that a different day because there's no way I'm sober enough to do 85 and 15% of anything. Ryan says, shit, I'm an engineer too, North Florida. Hey, Ryan, I'm here for it. So, yeah, this is great pour as far as D3 goes. I'm making my own little infinity pour over here too, as far as of everything we're drinking tonight. So maybe I test that before the end, but all right. Who was it? Chase that said it earlier? All right, here he goes. All right, Chase said Jack Daniel's rye, Woodford's double oak, and still Austin rye. So he's doing the opposite. Everybody else picked 2 bourbons, 1 rye. He's picking 2 ryes, 1 bourbon. That's why I want to try this one. This is why this one's going to be also the last one. Save your suggestions to the next stream. Not that this isn't fun. This is a lot of fun. But there's no way I can hang on that long because he's about to hit me with 2 high proof things. So he said still Austin rye. Let's put that up here. There we go. Let's do the Jack Daniel's rye. There we go. And then the Woodford's double oak. No, Woodford's double oak, not double. Sorry. Ryan says, just mix 1/4 ounce every whiskey into an infinity bottle. I would, but that's basically like 75 ounces, so can't do that. Amo says, up in the Biltmore, at some bars you can get what's called a Biltmore special. It's a Natty Bow, just a shot of Pikesville rye for $5. If you're up in the Biltmore Estates, go ahead and slide over to just look up Tapa's restaurant near me. It's in Asheville. Great place. Expensive. But ask for an old fashioned there. Usually they're money. I never even pick what I get in there. It's just money. But the tapas are also really good. But you gotta have some money to go to dinner there. Like $2.50 minimum. But it's great plates. All right. Oh, Baltimore, not Biltmore. It's late. I forgive you. My bad. What sucks is like I did pull up my chat last stream on like a bigger screen. I could see it really well. Trying to adjust back to the small screen, not the best. Not the best. So that's my fault. Chase says, damn, I wish you had the cast strength, still Austin Rye, but still interesting. I do too. But I do think this is going to work in your favor. And the reason why is because this is 90.4 proof, but the oak carries it. This is the only reason you pick this one is for the oak. This one, 134.5 proof. You know what I mean? It's got room to balance. And this one is still 99.6 proof. So you're still thinking like 100 proof. You know what I mean? Like this is no slouch by any means, even in the basic lineup. The cast strength would have been better. I'm not knocking that. It would have been higher. But I think this one has enough to carry this one, and this carries itself. Granted. So I think it will be. I think it's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna pour that up in here a second. Like crab cakes. MC says, any chance you want a side by side with Woodford's double oak and Woodford's double oak? MC, I've done that like a couple times though. Are you wanting something like new? Are you wanting something different? Or is like my review not good enough for you? Like, what's up? Tell me. Let me hear your thoughts. Ryan says, shit, I better get some head from that food for $250. Hey, I'm just saying, I've been to Hell's Kitchen and I spent $300. Not worth it. This top restaurant in Asheville, 100% worth it. 100% worth it. No head though. No head. Isaiah said, try some Coya Hill today. Sad I have a new obsession to hunt. That's why I don't try anything too expensive, because I know I get obsessive. All right. Let's pour this up from Chase. We finally have something that Chase recommends. I'm just saying. Chase, you ready, bud? It's your time, bud. It's your time. Let me pour it over here. Woodford's, a regular double. Or regular double oak. I can't get that right anymore. Ever since that the double doubles came out, I can no longer say Woodford's name properly. Let's add the Still Austin in second. So we're going to add regular Woodford's double oak and this Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. There we go. So David says that Coy Hill. No, I don't have any Coy Hill. It looks like it though, so I appreciate like the clout, but it's not. Chase says, Isaiah, it's good. Tried some George C. Stagg today from a friend. Now I have to have it. Aaron in the chat says, how you like that Redwood Empire stuff? I love Redwood Empire. Some of my favorite stuff. Like on an average day, I could pick up any Redwood Empire and be happy with it. So, yeah, big fan. So, guys, if you're new in the chat, welcome to stream. Happy Friday. We go live every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then we just kind of go live until we can't go live no more. We've been live for about 3 hours, 15 minutes. If you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 2,500? Yeah, 2,500. When we hit 2,500, we're going to do a small giveaway. We got other stuff coming in the future, but baby steps. You know what I mean? Baby steps. So tonight, we're just doing a bunch of dumb shit. We're blending a bunch of whiskey that you guys recommend. I believe this is going to be the last one. It doesn't mean it's going to be the last time we do this. So if you have ideas, maybe save them to the next stream. Dave says, you ever had Louisville double oaked? I have not, but I do love a good double oak. Some of my favorite whiskeys are double oak in general. So Ryan says, how adventurous did you get with gin? I mean, I dabbled. I'm not too adventurous, but I do like a good barrel-aged gin. That's kind of where we do start getting a little adventurous. Cause I do like some barrel-aged gin. I'm out. I have none in here anymore. I have 0 gin in this room anymore. It's all gone. The wife drinks the barrel-aged gin like nobody's business. Buffalo says, rumor in town was that George C. Stagg was at Publix, and I went and checked. Ended up with my first Blanton's. Funny how that works. Hey, it's funny how it works. Kind of works on the best ways. MC says, got blessed my first Stagg store pick. Can't wait to side-by-side it with some of the batch versions. Do you currently have a favorite batch store pick of Stagg? Not really. I guess my favorite one is going to be the one that I have is the 24C. I do like that one a lot, but I don't really have a favorite. They're all kind of similar to me. Let's try this up. This one is the blend of the Woodford's Double Oak and the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye at 134.5 proof for the Jack, 90.4 proof for the Woodfords. Cheers, boys. That's all Jack Daniels. But that's different. I'll say the Jack overpowers a lot of it. But on the finish, it did have some of that Woodford's. Has some of that sweetness from Woodford's. But that Jack overpowers most of it. So, it's not bad. Not to like cut Chase at the knees, but being like a heavy rye, I don't know if it's gonna win. Ooh, good pour, good pop from old Still Austin here. AMC says there's a Colorado brand called Spirit Hound that makes a strawberry basil gin that's unreal. That sounds delicious. Ryan says Drums Chambeau, Gunpowder Gin, and Aviation are great starting points for aged gin at home. Both go great with maple and cedar. Okay. Dave says a good blend of the Woodford's Double Oak and Woodford's Barrel Proof. Or Double and Woodford's Barrel Proof. I mean, I do have both, but I don't know if that's a blend. I feel like that's just Woodford's. But I hear where you're headed. MC says barrel-aged banana bread coming for the mixture? Okay. This has got to be one part Woodford's Double Oak, one part's Jack Daniel's, and one part Still Austin Artist Rye, not cast strength. I like that. But I gotta say, like, that Jack is so hardcore, kills the Woodfords. When you add the Still Austin in, because it's another rye, it kind of forms into that Jack. The Woodfords is gone. The Still Austin's there. I do feel like it's a little bit easier and more approachable, but it's almost like making like a fancy rye. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't have that Woodfords anymore. Not that it's not good, but it just feels like a slightly lower proof Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I think maybe the Jack Daniel's was too high a proof to include this. Because it's 134.5 proof now. If I had to guess, it's like 120 proof, and it's just not. It's too Jack Daniel's. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even taste the other two. So, as good of an attempt as it was, I just don't think that this is fair to even judge. If I had to guess, we're just going to say 5.0, right? It's not bad. It's not a bad pour. I just don't think it's fair to really judge it because the Woodford's Double Oak itself usually has like this vanilla and chocolate note in it that's really well, but it's a low proof. The Still Austin itself usually has this nice little kind of earthy note to it, but it's almost 100 proof. The Jack Daniel's is just a powerhouse. And as great as it is, it kind of just took over that entire pour, and that kind of killed it, you know, as far as a blend goes. 158. Tony Cat says, you ever make it to Covington, Kentucky? Stop at Spirits? Okay. 158. Tony Cat, just subscribe. Welcome to the family. If I ever do make it to Kentucky, which should be towards September, towards Kentucky Bourbon Festival, we're going to do a bunch of like bourbon hunting stuff up there, then make a big ass trip around it. So, yeah, definitely. If you're still a part of the stream, then to be honest, I have a horrible memory. Maybe remind me when we start talking about Kentucky Bourbon Festival again, when I start planning out the trip. So that would be helpful. But if not, I'll try to remember. Norfloor says, would like to see the bee's knees crossed with a rye or some honey finished. The bee's knees, the sap squash, and then maybe a rye would be really good. Because those are two super sweet whiskeys mixed with like a spice, I think could pair well. So yeah, the guys got to try the Wild Turkey 10-year Triumphant Rye. If you get a chance, really great pour. I'm not saying it's a great pour, not a great pour. It's just an expensive pour. 158 says, will do. Appreciate it. It just makes it easier on me. But yeah, in the coming months, you know, June, July, we'll get past, and then we're gonna start planning our trip. We get to, you know, August, really September, beginning of September is when we're gonna really final out the plan. Right before we head up there, and I want to try and make it like I want to make it worth it because I got to take all my vacation time just to do it. Did somebody just subscribe and it not pop up? Because my lights just changed and nothing popped up. Maybe that's from Tony, but that's a weird way to find out. Again, if you guys are subscribing to the channel, drop in the chat. Say, hey, I just subscribed. It didn't pop up. I appreciate that as always. Welcome to the family. Anybody that is new, if you are not new and you haven't subscribed yet, what are we doing? Come on. Welcome to the family. Dave says, I'll be there in September. Dave, we're going to have to link up, bud. I'm going. I just haven't figured out exactly what I'm doing yet. So I'm trying. I do know there's a lot of people from the channel that want to go that doesn't know if they want to go. So I may, depending on when tickets go, tickets are going on sale next month. So I may do something a little bit drastic where we kind of like give away, like maybe a ticket, maybe like a little tag along with me, just because I want some of you guys to go too and just come hang out and have some fun. Isaiah says, call me old fashioned. Dave just posted his collection showcase in the Discord. Can we please get a live reaction? Dave just changed his profile picture live on stream. Dave, are you a whiskey tuber? Because maybe I don't know, because Isaiah is saying, hey, get a live reaction. Norfloor says, I think pop up happen when you turn your back. It's all right. I know I need to update the light thing. It keeps asking me to. I'm reluctant, you know? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of water. I'm out of energy drink. What do we do now? Drink whiskey? I mean, I could. He's like, I'm not yet. If you're not, and the word yet is coming afterwards, just do it. Just send it. Just full send it. It's not hard. All you're doing is drinking online, you know what I mean? Now, I will say, taking the time to do it is tough, especially if you have like a normal life. But besides that, it's a lot of fun. It's fun to hang out with people, drink whiskey, you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's do one last pour, and then we're going to end the stream. He's like the answer is always drink whiskey. That's the biggest fact I've ever seen. Anyways, what should we end with? A little 13th or Russell's? I feel like maybe a little waste. Fuck it, Russell's. Sounds like a good time. North Florida says, "Oh my God, Dave. Dave, are you fucking with me? Do you actually do videos and I just don't know? I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I try to tell people that. People don't listen. Is that new Rift in the background? Yeah, I got a lot of new Rift. Not a lot. Don't let me make it seem like a lot. I got new Rift 8-year bourbon, rye. And then I have the sherry finish, barrel proof, the Kentucky straight malted whiskey, and a single barrel bourbon. I don't have the single barrel rye yet because I'm a poser. Kidding. But it's coming. Isaiah says, we got to see your reaction to the collection before you end the stream. Isaiah, am I tripping? Or are you saying I should react to Dave's collection or Dave should react to my collection? I'm completely lost. Is Dave in the Discord? Dave is in the Discord. All right, hold on. Oh, shit. All right. I have the Discord up. If you guys are not in the Discord, Dave says, I'm in Georgia tonight. 13th Colony Double Oak. All right. I gotta drink a prop of Polo with Dave. 13th Colony Double Oak it is. You talked me into it. Sorry. Guys, if anybody knows anything about me, I'm the worst with names. I'm absolutely horrible. I can barely remember my own name. So, please don't take offense to that. Yeah, I'm going to watch Dave's video here in the Discord. We'll kind of take a look at his collection, and then we'll pour up a little 13th Colony. Let's do it. Let's pour up the 13th Colony first. What a good excuse to fucking pour a 13th Colony. You know what I mean? What a good excuse. So much darker than everything else I drank today. RMZ says, it's been fun watching once again, but my son has a baseball game at 8 in the morning, so I have to turn in. Cheers, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. RMZ, just like in that movie Signs, tell your son to swing away. As always, hopefully he does good tomorrow. We're going to go live eventually this weekend. We just don't know when. I got tomorrow maybe Bourbon Festival, maybe live. Sunday I got the kids' birthday party, and then I'm busy again. So, but as always, I appreciate you tuning in. I love the support as always. For real, hopefully the kid does good tomorrow. But if not, I'm gonna drink this pour of 13th Colony Double Oak with Dave, and then I'm gonna look at his collection video here in the Discord. I can't figure out how to turn it on. There we go. North Florida said, the Discord is where we party all week. It's our version of the daily AA meeting. Yeah, you're not wrong. Tuxedo did drop Discord link, so anybody that does want to join the Discord, feel free. It's free right now. Eventually, it will cost money, but anybody that's in there now may get grandfathered in. You know, we don't do anything too crazy in there now. We're just kind of having some fun. RMZ says, later, brothers. RMZ, have fun. Tell the kids we said hi. All right, let's watch his video. It's like 30 seconds, so it's not long. Bro, is that a fucking bookcase push? Hold on, I gotta pause it. First off, if you start your collection with a little bookcase pull, it's a win. It doesn't even matter what's behind it. You can have all mellow corn. It's already a win. The bookcase push from me, that's a win. I wish I could do that. I don't have the setup for that. But if I did, I have them pull a little Sorcerer Storm. Am I having a stroke? What's wrong with me? Sorcerer Stone. you pull that book. That would be the book that you pull. So, all right, let's keep going. Okay, little barrel pieces. Ooh, all right, I'm gonna pause it one more time. Leather couches. Like if you're trying to get the panties wet, a leather couch is what you do. Not like a chick's, just mine. You know what I mean? All right, let me keep going. Oh, I missed it, didn't I? Hold on, keep going. All right, so far I see every Weller. I see most of the antique collection. I see the handy. I keep stopping at weird blurry points. He's got some heavy hitters back here. What's that whole bar behind him? Is that all dark arts? So he better be in here still. I'm gonna be pissed. Dave, dark arts. What are we thinking? Because I've been debating on picking them up for a hot minute, but I'll go pick them up tomorrow. You say the word. I'm running to the store. All right, let me keep going. These fridges? What is this? I gotta run it back. I like the music. Okay, he has a barrel when you walk in. It's got 13th Colony Double Oak that's darker than the night. Everything else is okay. I can't really see it. It's kind of blurry when I stop it, but I see the 13th Colony, so I'm here for it. The couches, money. Table, money. The light, money. I don't know what this are for the whiskey though. Is this a fridge? What is this? This is like one of the greatest setups that I've seen, with also not knowing what I'm looking at. He has 13th Colony lineup, like magically placed. What I really love about this, whether if it's really good or really bad to anybody else, is the best part is that it's so OCD organized that I could sit in there and just relax, right? He has his makers lined up together. He has his 13th Colony lined up together. He has whatever that is right there lined up together, because I know it's the same size bottle. I'm guessing it's the Jack Daniels, probably Coy Hill, because he's probably got it like that. He's got his E.H. Taylor down here at the bottom on a different shelf. He's got his Weller set up on a different shelf. Obviously, top shelf. It's got a little antique collection. I don't know what else is on there, because when I pause it, it's a little blurry. Let me restart it. I saw Bee's Knees. Old Granddad's 16-year. Blue Note Juke Joint. What the fuck you got there, bro? Yeah, that was Jack Daniels, by the way. The only thing about behind the bar that throws me off is it's almost all dark arts whiskey and something else I can't see. I think it's rare character. I really want to know about the dark arts because that interested me a lot. In the other cabinet, I see some mixers. Bro, this is a sick setup. In general, like, fuck what's in there. Hold on. Let me pause it. Who cares what whiskey is in there? You're talking about ambiance, hanging out. Like, if I just walked in, he's like, hey, head to the whiskey room. And I'm like, fuck, where would we go? And he's like, pull Moby Dick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what I'm pulling. Harry Potter would be my go-to. But I pull that, I walk in, like, I'm rocked up at that point, you know? He did have a lot of semi-hard to get whiskey or hard to get whiskey. I couldn't tell everything. The video, when you pause it, kind of gets blurry, but that's more on my end. Pretty cool setup. The part of the issue I have with that is now my brain's going and I'm about to tear down the entire room and redo it just because of that video. So thanks for like the $2,000 like reinvestment that I have to do. So cool, but whatever. No, I love the leather couches. I do think like whiskey room screams like, give me a leather couch. I don't know if those are fridges or just really cool cabinets. If they're cabinets, I'm okay with it. If they're fridges, I feel like that's overkill. I feel like that's way too much. Cabinets with cool lighting, I'm here for it. Fridges, too much. Behind the bar, if he's a really big dark arts fan, valid. But that was a lot. I feel like the behind the bar should have like the basic stuff, and then like the hard to get stuff should be elsewhere. That's just me being picky. Look, really cool setup. One of the best I've seen. Way better than mine. Mine looks cool from here, but the second we get off camera, like we got basic stuff. You know what I mean? Mine's set up for filming. So, let me check the chat. Dave says, bro, any dark arts over 10 years is a fucking win. All right. So hell yeah, I'm gonna go pick up one tomorrow then, because I see it all the time. I just been debating it because I'm like, it's kind of pricey for what I've seen, but I just deleted something off my screen. Oh no, it's all right. But I felt like they were more decanters. But you had a lot of them, so I'll take your word for it. We'll buy one. Norfolk says, nice. Been seeing a few dark arts. Haven't been knowledgeable to grab anything other than Bruzel likes it. I haven't even seen him drink it. So yeah, I'll definitely buy one soon. Isaiah says, his house is my new favorite bar. Haven't even been yet. Dave says, I'll get you some pictures of the actual collection. Isaiah says, my whiskey room is a blue velvet couch. No fridges. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was like a fridge or if it was just like the lighting. But I have to assume like maybe he went all out and got fridges for some reason. Yeah, if it's no lighting, that's a sick setup. I like it. I like it a lot. Because it kind of gives you an idea to kind of customize it how you want, right? I definitely don't recommend getting fridges, just to make sure that's clear. The only complaint I could ever give you would be is behind the bar, switch it up. Give a couple extra back there, because you had just 2 main whiskeys, but you had a lot of it. So if that's your go-to, then by all means, who cares what I think? Overall, really cool room. I love the theatrics of getting in there with the bookshelf, so fuck yeah, the setup's sick. Norfolk says, gonna have to step my game up. Gonna do a design and create an entire similar into the bar. Our 1,000+ book library I built for my wife's collection. Nice inspiration. How's the 13th Colony? 158. I gotta tell you, I love double oaks in general. So let's make sure that's clear. Woodford's double oak's been my favorite for a long time. I'm not shy to double oaks. I love the oakiness. This one kind of gives you that tobacco leather feeling, kind of what you would expect from a 13th Colony, but it gives it more in-depth flavor through the double oak. It's just really good. It's 133.7.4 proof. It's hot. It's hot. It's a hot proof one. It's the only downside. I will say, as much as I wish it wasn't, it's probably the best old fashioned I've had this year. It's money. It's good. It's just it's expensive. You know what I mean? So I try to savor it as best I can. The Russell's 15, same thing. That's why I try to stay away from it all night. But to end the night on a 13th Colony double oak, pour it, can't go wrong with that. So we'll do that. But yeah, like if you were to ask, like, should you pick it up? Yeah, absolutely. Should you pay complete secondary? No. Part of the fun of these bottles are getting it for MSRP or slightly over, not $800 and paying secondary. It's not worth that. But like if you can get it for less, then yeah, it's a fun. Dave says double oak is my jam, but the 13th Colony double oak on steroids. Facts. Like the flavor punches you in the face multiple times. It's just one of those things where you're like you want it all the time. So it's like crack. You're like, hey, no, I'm good. I'm good today. Not crack. That makes me sound like I'm a crackhead. I'm not a crackhead. I'm just saying, like, you try to not drink it. So that's where we're going to end the stream, on me talking about crackheads and fucking 13th Colony double oak. So if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. As always, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you watching. I may go live again. You never know. I may try to go smoke a cigar down by the fire. You know what I mean? I'm down for a good time. So if you see me go live again, tune in. If you haven't already, subscribe. Much appreciated. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And I will see you on the other side. I can't find the other piece of my thing. There it goes. All right. Peace.